and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another World of Warships live stream with me, Mr. Conway, and the always amazing Mr. Chrysantos. It's fantastic to see so many of you already live. I can see there are like 1,000 people already watching on Twitch, a couple of hundred on YouTube, and yes, hello. It's been not very long. We had back-to-back streams last week.
Almost a week.
Almost a week. But to be honest, this is the only time in the week that we've gotten to actually just sit down and play the game for a couple of hours and have some fun and relax with you guys. This is our downtime, so it's fantastic to be back. As you can imagine, Gamescom is less than 2 weeks away, and well, it's
busy. you can basically count this here, and then you will basically know like how bad it's getting.
Yes, but we have a whole host of really cool activities planned for you at Gamescom. It's going to be a fantastic time. For all of those of you who are going to be attending Gamescom, please watch our portal tomorrow. We're going to have a big portal article with news and announcements, and you'll be able to book time in the VIP zone to meet Dasha Perova, get your t-shirt signed, and I don't know, whatever else you want to do. Or not whatever else, with lots of limits, but take a picture, and other stuff. So it's exciting.
Yes, and I think the Gamescom missions were also added to the mission overview for August. So you can take a look at how, even if you can't make it to Gamescom, how you can get your hands on new Gamescom camos.
Have you claimed the mission yet?
I didn't. I don't think so, no.
I did. I can't really show. Anyway, look. Well, why don't we, better to show, not tell, right? So we can illustrate this accordingly. There we go.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, if you head to your regional World of Warships site, first of all, you will see this beautiful. Oh God. Oh God. This is questionable. Very questionable.
I'm sure there's somebody sitting in St. Petersburg who's waiting for a really bad thumbnail. It's not like, we wouldn't pull these faces every minute, but just like, this is the perfect thumbnail for the stream.
Yes. But we have
do we want to blame our content bros?
And I think it's fully automatic. I think it pulls it live from Twitch.
I'd rather blame someone.
Okay, I'm going to blame Greg, because he should have been here.
Exactly.
Yes. If you don't know Greg, who is known in game as, what's his name?
Moon underscore star.
Moon underscore star. Please feel free to PM him. Everybody, right now, open your client and PM Moon underscore star and tell him we want you to come on the stream. He's fantastic. He does a lot of really cool work and is a wizard at writing things. But obviously he's bad at Twitch thumbnails. Anyway, what I was going to get at, you have this article, August Combat Missions. It already says Gamescom 2019. If you click there and you scroll only a little bit, there's a button here that says Take Part. Now, to be able to click this button, you need to log in so we know who you are. Once you've logged in, you can click here. See, I haven't logged in. And then you will be receiving the mission in-game. And I can show you what the mission looks like in-game as well, if you like. Let's just do a smooth transition to the game.
How smooth?
So smooth. Absolutely, like the smoothest transition ever.
Oh, Necto Neznami says, thanks for the kudos off. Congratulations. Last week we actually celebrated a 50k follower milestone, whatever you want to call it, a celebration on Twitch. And yes, we had 50 lucky winners. And I saw a few questions or demands for I want a Belfast today, but we don't have a giveaway today. We do have the Twitch mission, or not the Twitch, the stream mission that we are handing out via bonus code later today.
And Twitch drop missions.
And on top of that, I mean, we have a bonus code for that extra mission, plus the usual Twitch drops that are just happening while you're watching.
Yes. Now, anyway, unfortunately, I forgot to change my client from German, but it's fine. Just click on personal missions, right? And then, well, wait a second. And then here we go. You see Gamescom 2019, Show the Flag Part 1. And you need to earn 1 million.
Just a fun fact. We will not have this stream with a German client.
I'll change it. 1 million.
Even though it would be funny to have the mission in full German because it's a German event, right?
It would be fun, yes. But it's 1,098,984 credits you have to earn. Who can tell us in chat why we chose this specific number?
Yes.
We will see. The Gamescom link is not on the US website currently. I'm sure it will be
Updated later today. Yeah.
So give it a little bit of time for your local people to wake up, and it'll get there. Don't worry. It's a global mission. Anyway, you can get this, and as a reward, you will get 5 of the blue Gamescom camouflages, and then we've got 3 more parts, I think, of the mission.
Yes.
The last one happening during Gamescom, which will also reward you with the Gamescom 2019 commemorative flag, because we like to give it to everyone, even those who can't come, as long as they sort of get involved with us.
Lion Drum's asking, did I hear a free mission? Yes, later on there's a free mission.
Yes, we have a free mission later. Anyway, in the meantime, let's go back to this one, and I'm going to make my
Sorry,
client...
I will just do this in the beginning because I see a few questions on YouTube, so we'll just do this right now while we're still heating up the stream. So we have a question about, oh my god, what's your Twitch channel name? So our Twitch channel name is super easy. Go to twitch.tv/World of Warships. That's our channel name. And if you want to know how to participate in Twitch drops, I will share a link in, well, probably it's going to arrive here in a minute for you, how you can actually sign up for that and how you can participate, because we all wrote it up in the guide. So it's easy to follow, and then all you have to do is watch us or watch any World of Warships channel on Twitch that streams World of Warships. It's super easy and straightforward. And yes, we still have this beautiful graphic in the background because it's still beautiful.
Yes, and we still have more than 50,000 followers. What's the mission today? So, what's the drops today? So, the Twitch drop mission. It's a good question.
Why don't you open the guide? Because it should also have the mission conditions.
It should have them in there, right?
Yes. So the thing is, we always publish the information, what kind of missions you will get through Twitch drops, so you can check them out. And here I think we only have click on the full details. So this is just like the quick overview that we have. Oh, people should still see it. I will click on
browser. That's the one with the symbol that looks like something we don't use.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a Twitch stream rewards in 0.8.6, the full guide, so you can get all kinds of stuff. But what we're interested right now in, so we've got the mission bonus codes. You're going to get the mission Fight With Us Week 3 today. We're going to get that a little later, don't worry. The bonus code can be redeemed by everyone. It's a stage bonus code on just like the others, base XP and then a little bit more base XP. And the final reward is 3 French destroyers containers. And next week you're going to get 4, which is fantastic. So you can get a total of 10 French destroyers containers. But we also have the Twitch challenges, which is what we're talking about right now. And those are missions that can drop. Now, those missions, basically, there's no RNG involved. As long as you watch a Twitch stream for at least an hour, in the time frame of that drop, you are guaranteed to get that mission, right? Every week we drop a new mission, and the missions have different durations. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the actual mission conditions in here, Mr. Chrysantos.
Oh,
no, it does not look like it.
Okay, then
you will have to pull up that secret page that we can't show people on the stream, but at least we can tell them what's on it.
Okay, let me just quickly go for.
Yes, so we'll let you know in just a second. But I'm guessing we will also get it soon because we're also watching Twitch. Fantastic. Anyway, as usual, if you're looking for any of this information, it's all available on our portal. Just head over there and you'll find it. If you are curious, I will just put it in the chat now on both YouTube and Twitch. And it's important to note, right, that all of these rewards are global. The bonus code is active for all regions. The Twitch drops are active for all regions. The missions are active for all regions. So no matter where you're from, you can enjoy them.
Yes,
Fantastic.
So the mission for this week that is running basically until the end of the update is fun and engaging. Over any amount of battles, you have to win 5 battles. And we have, as a reward, we have a few consumables because we wanted to also add them at some point. So we have 10 Surveillance Radar premium version, 10 premium Hydroacoustic Surge, 10 smoke generators in the premium version, and Dragon Flag. So 3 additional Dragon Flags that will help you with grinding Commander XP.
But it's for ranked.
Yes. Because you can also find that article on the website. Ranked season starting. So that's a special mission for ranked. And then next week, I can already tease a bit. So next week, you will have the chance to get 5 Restless Fire camouflages, which are also great for Commander XP.
Yep. Okay, I think it's time to play some World of
Warships.
Warships, I think. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Will Wargaming ever give us German carrier line? Maybe.
So did we actually see an answer of what that number is supposed to be?
Is the credit amount how much Chrysanthus gets paid per week?
I wish. I wish. I mean, I should probably clip that and send it to Lord of Droid and maybe have a new discussion about that topic. But
Twitch demands I get paid this much.
Exactly. Also, I see a few comments regarding last week's mission. So we had a Twitch drop last week, a Twitch mission that dropped. That was basically split up in 3 stages for, I think, 1,750 base XP, 2,250 base XP, and 2,750 base XP.
I haven't done it yet because I haven't been playing much last week.
That's the excuse. But I also didn't get the 2,750.
I'm at stage 3 of 5 for earning 1,600 base XP.
No, that's the wrong one. Because that's
that's fine with us, with me too. Where's the...
I can probably bring it up if you can find it.
Don't I have it?
You might not have watched Twitch last week, so you might have missed it.
God damn it.
But
this is the problem with having too many Twitch accounts.
I will show it on my screen. So look over here. It's the Twitch mission. Hurt me plenty. The title should give it away. That's going to hurt. This is like a hardcore challenge. So the first one here was for 1,500 base XP, actually. Then we had 2,000 base XP. And because you chat, were saying that 1,750 base XP is so easy. I do this every game. We upped the ante a bit, and we said, okay, we have a challenge for our super hardcore guys with 2,750 base XP, and you will get the battle-hardened mission and a French destroyer container for successfully completing this. But because we know not everybody will be able to do this, we had these 2 additional stages beforehand so that everybody else can do it as well. Are you okay? You're
I want to. Should we? I want to actually. Let's.
We can check how many of you actually managed to do it. Yes.
What, is that the wrong address? Do I maybe?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I can pull that mission information up, because I am actually genuinely curious how many people completed this mission. Look. We didn't mean for everyone to complete it. I'm very sorry, but this is just not. Some of them are like that, right? It's in here, right?
Yeah, it's too hard, Stefan Schneider. I mean, we know it's hard. And that's why we had 3 steps. So you basically 1,500 should be doable for the vast majority of players. So everybody could do step 1, and then it's basically a challenge that goes up in difficulty. Cool. Tony Scott says he got 2,800 last night. Well done. Okay. On top of that, you go to the left one.
I think it's the wrong one, right? It's this one?
Yes, it's this one. So, guys, while we are doing this, so the actual number that we had in the Gamescom mission was the number of inhabitants of Cologne. That was the number we put in there as a little, related themed number, because these missions actually came from us.
Oh no, this is the wrong one. Where do I find it? I need to scroll for it to refresh.
You need to scroll a lot.
Wow, we have a lot of missions.
And also, I should do it again. Anyways, guys, while Mr. Conway is looking this up, please give me a suggestion of a tier on which you would like us to play on. And of course, you can join us for a match. I already have a message from Sparky TV Twitch who wants to play with us. Sure, jump in, and I'll invite Mr. Conway. And you guys let us know what tier you would like to see. I see 10, 6, 7, 10, 4, 8, 8, 8, 2, 2, 10, 9. I see a lot of... It looks like either 7, 10, or 8. You know what? We'll play 7, because we haven't played 7
Okay.
recently.
So, this is interesting, right? So, we're talking about that actual Twitch mission right now. So, the first stage of the Twitch mission, let's talk about EU stats, right? So, the first stage of the mission has been completed by almost 8,000 people. Second stage
on EU, we're talking
on EU. Second stage by almost 5,000 people, and on EU we have 237 people who've managed to complete stage 3.
Yes. So it's definitely doable, but it's hard. it's definitely hard.
Bear in mind, you've still got almost 2 weeks left to complete it because the mission is active all the way until basically Gamescom happens.
Yes. So, I see Brokodos asking for Mikasa. We can do a Mikasa game towards the end of the stream. Very happy to. And Mr. Conway, would you like to accept my beautiful invitation?
Yes. Have you already got someone a third?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
And I'll also appoint you as a commander because you have more chat windows open than me.
So. Oh, wow. Great success. Thank you very much. So, guys, for those of you who've already messaged me, I'll gladly invite you to a division after this first game. So, what are we playing? Tier 7?
Tier 7. And then we'll ask again, chat, what you would like to see. So tier 7, I still have quite a few tokens of France here.
I have so many. I'm gonna play the Belfast.
Symbol. I played
Sparky
Nelson.
TV Twitch has left the division. Okay.
Oh, let me take somebody else.
Twitch Shadow. I wonder if there's.
Is it our Shadow? No, there's nobody there.
Twitch Shadow was actually just asking a question. Are we gonna do a Polish line? Maybe, guys. Maybe. So it's Milan. Can we invite you? Let's see. And Sanjame, I'll gladly play with you. You'll just have to wait until it's your turn. Perfect. I'm ready.
Okay. Wait, you're playing. Oh, okay. I'm not surprised that you're picking this ship. Guys, contact Mr. Conway, and I will take. What did I?
Okay.
I haven't played Lyon in such a long time.
I can see lots of people asking for the code, right? So I'll do you a deal, chat, right? We will announce the code after we finish this first game.
Deal.
Okay. So chat, no mentions of the code, please, until we get. We'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Okay. No, I didn't ready up. I ready up.
You ready up? Fantastic. Let's go.
Yes, and then when we showcase the bonus code, we can also talk about the Battle of Salvo event that we have running this weekend, and you actually can already sign up for it and participate.
We will absolutely do that, and I'll actually sign up for it live, and then we can maybe see if we can get the points.
Yes.
Who are you going to sign up for?
Oh, I haven't decided yet.
Do you know about the Battle of Salvo?
Not enough, so we will listen to you explaining us about the history of the Battle of Salvo.
Wow, if only I had memory. No, but I'm actually currently reading a related book that had like some nice information about the Battle of Salvo Island, and it's basically just the Americans were complacent. It was late at night. They were unprepared, and they were sort of just more or less just sitting around and not using their big advantages like radar. They'd actually switched off the radar on a couple of ships because they were worried the Japanese might detect the radar transmissions. So they sat completely in the dark, didn't know what's happening, and the Japanese sailed a quite heavy force, I think under Admiral Mikawa, straight up to them, and then at a super close range. Just shot star shells at them, illuminated them with the searchlights, and just beat the ever-loving crap out of them. I think they sank 2 heavy cruisers outright, and irreparably damaged a third.
There was a super nice Reddit post about this, with unfair matchmaking also happened in real life.
Yes, but like mostly the Americans could have put up a good fight there, but they were just not ready. And even when the fight started, a lot of the American commanders thought that it was actually accidental friendly fire, and like instead of shooting back, they signaled their signal lights like, "Hey, I'm an American," and of course that didn't really help because the Japanese were shooting them. And then the one of the commanders, instead of alerting the task force about the fact that he'd been attacked, he just sort of just ran away, more or less, and left the other half of the American task force to also get attacked and shredded. So overall, it was a very, very poor showing by the Americans. And the Japanese, at the beginning, especially of the war, were far superior when it comes to night warfare. They just had trained for it a lot more, and they relied on not like radar and their equipment, but more on the fact that they could just look out of the window at night. Surprisingly, that worked.
We do read chat and Natsume.
Exactly. We read chat, but not necessarily when we're trying to contest a cap at the beginning of the game in Belfast.
We try to read as much as we can, and we try to answer what we can. But especially when we're talking about a certain event, for example, then
Why is that
you will have
Sim's
to
not
wait a bit.
just standing still and waiting for me to shoot him?
How dare you?
How rude. Because he's pushed all the way up to the island. I need to reverse even more to get an angle on him. That's the problem.
Yeah, I love the Leon, and I saw a few requests for Gneiseno. Maybe I can play Gneiseno later on. We'll probably rotate a bit with the tiers, but
Ready for radar? Oh, you're someone completely different. Fine.
I hope I get to shoot before that. Okay, shots are out.
Well, this Sims is dead.
Yes. I mean, that's a bit of situational awareness. There is a DD. If you know, the B cap is so destined to get radared. You have to be really, really careful. Oh, our Königsberg is getting torped by, I guess it's the Gepard.
Come on. Stop wiggling. He's dead. Okay, well, B cap not secured, but definitely B cap defended for now.
We do have a DD up here at sea. No, it must actually be...
Can Mr. Conway please play some rounds in Pan-Asian cruises? Cruises?
In one of the many that we have.
Well, we have a lot of Pan-Asian.
And I think we played Huang He in the last 2 streams. So
we did
probably...
actually. But I can play some Irian. I'd be happy to play some Irian. It's what I would
Irian,
call a good boat.
Yes, Irian is a good boat.
It's a good boat.
Has a weird.
You know what? Oh no,
starting
Akatsuki's gonna cap. Is Akatsuki capping? No, he's not capping. In that case, I will cap. Because there's no radar. And no torpedoes.
I would love for this Omaha to show its face.
And there's also a Fiji. Interesting. Hello, Fiji. Oh, god damn it. I slid out of my radar. Out of my smoke.
Just how greedy am I going to be here?
Is the answer very? I don't like it.
Yes, probably.
I don't know why the Akatsuki is not taking that cap. It's beyond me, but I don't really care. I'll do it for them.
How's the game looking for you? You are good on B?
Yes. I'm still at full health. And captain.
And Tony Scott, yes, that's true. The German fleet only had one almost finished CV during World War II, which is the Graf Zeppelin that we also have in the game. And that New Mexico takes a beating here.
Yeah, the Germans, I think, quickly realized that there's no way in hell they were going to do anything with their surface fleet because they were just so hopelessly outnumbered. And it takes a long time to build ships, and you can not really build ships anywhere else but at the coast, and the coast is in very easy striking range of the enemy. And whereas the UK, of course, had the benefit of having a large coastline, having places far out of reach of, not far out of reach, but definitely not an easy reach of air attack. They just started building submarines and just didn't really stop until the end. And it's really crazy if you look at how many submarines the Germans built in World War II. It's insane.
It is indeed.
So
I'm in a bit of a pickle here. So I'll request help officially. I'm sending an SOS.
What, to me?
Yes. To the entire fleet. Need support.
And you think you're gonna get it?
Maybe.
I'm sorry. I think I'm going to be too far out of range to really give you meaningful
No,
support.
you can help me. You can help me a bit with the BBs and just burn them down a bit.
Yeah, but like they're so still out of range. For me.
Ah, okay, okay.
I kind of have to deal with this Nuremberg here.
Oh, nice. The Helena just nuked the Omaha. Which gives me a little bit of better playing field here. Please show me that broadside, my friend.
I'm sorry, Nuremberg. I feel a little bit bad for what I'm doing to you. But he's in such a vulnerable position right now. I needed to exploit that. What's the Nuremberg torpedo range?
6 kilometers.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, it's over already! Oh man, it's just like the Ashitaka was gone. I could actually have some fun with the Algerie.
Yeah, we won.
But we won. Easy.
Why so many-
Guys, in general, yes. We like I already tried to ban a few guys who are spamming wrong codes. And guys, in general, if you spam wrong codes in the chat, I will just ban you. I mean, I will time out you. If you do it again, I will just ban you. Don't do it, because that's just not nice. People will try to activate it, and then it's no trolling on that level allowed here.
Should we push the button then? We did promise.
We did.
Well,
promise.
ladies and gentlemen, because we are super creative, this is the weekly bonus code for the weekly stream mission. There you go.
Yes. And if you feel like it, you can read it out loud at home.
Yes, shout it. Shout it far and wide. Fantastic.
Exactly.
This code you can spam. You have my permission to spam it.
That's fine. So basically, for those who just tuned in, what does this code do? It will give you a mission. Maybe, Mr. Conway, you want to do the honors of showing how to activate a bonus code.
Fantastic. I should do that because that also means I get the bonus code. However, let's just be a little more sensible about this, and let's quickly not show everyone my email address.
You would not like to receive more emails from players?
I love you guys, but I'm sorry. Like no, let's not go there.
Yes, that might result in a lot of spam.
You think?
Maybe. Just maybe.
Possibly, potentially. Fantastic. Now, with operational security guaranteed, what we can do is you can see, actually you can't see because it's up here, but if you, up here, like you see my mouse, if you go further into the corner, right, click your nickname, you'll get this amazing pop-up. And if you then click on activate wargaming code, you get this beautiful website here. Fantastic. And then you type what was the stream again, the code again?
I love the stream.
With a 3, the chat, help me out here. Okay.
It's basically
love the. I've got it. I love the stream. Once you've typed it or copy pasted it from, I could have just copy pasted it from chat. You click redeem. Fantastic.
And then it will pop up in your personal missions tab.
Let's have a look. So we go here. Oh God!
Are
please stop sending me personal messages right now. You go to combat missions, personal assignments, and then we have there we go. Fight with us week 3. You see, it's a multi-stage mission, and the final reward is 3 Finnish destroyers, containers. So go do that. So, guys, if you're complaining about about the fact that it's not working, I just showed you it's working. It's definitely working. It's 100% guaranteed that it's working. If you got an error message, it is for one of two reasons. Either you mistyped it, or you already spammed wrong codes too many times that you've gotten a timeout. In which case, just wait for an hour or so and try again.
Not even that long. It's like 30 minutes will do the job.
Yes. It should definitely work because, as you saw, it is a valid code. So, what is the next tier that we're playing?
While you guys give us a suggestion about the next tier that we are supposed to play, Mr. Conway, would you like to open the news portal again and show a publication about the Battle of Salvo Island?
I think whether or not I like it or not is pretty irrelevant, right? No, let's have a look. I think the guys did a really good job with the article. Here we go. So it's Fight for Premium Ships, the Battle of Salvo Island. Now, first of all, you've got a really, really nice historical write-up on the actual mission, on the actual battle. Where is it? Did he not write? Did we not write it?
So, Mr. Conway was busy this week, so he didn't see the first teaser. If you scroll up,
yes, we saw.
There was already a publication about the Battle of Salvo Island.
Yes.
Where you could also, it was a teaser where you could claim your free equipment. You know, the blue button that helps you a bit.
This is the one. I'm sorry, guys. Like, you have to understand. Like, my entire week has been revolving essentially around Gamescom. It's been a rough time. So, claim your free supplies, get ready for battle. So you can go here, you can find out, because I know the guys wrote a really nice article, and read up about the battle, Japanese and American Battle of Salvo Island. A really nice little illustration. If you can see, the Japanese were actually outnumbered, and they still lost. And they even put together a cool little map, so you can have a look at how things happened. So, and if you click prepare for battle, you're gonna get some free stuff and some consumables. And then if we go back to our Battle for Salvo Island article here, right, you can find out how it works. So the idea is very simple. You can choose either enlist in the Japanese team or the Allied team. We had the same thing for our last sort of Axis versus Allies event. However, last time the advantage went clearly to the Americans because that's historically who won the battle and they had the advantage. However, here the Japanese are at an advantage. What that means is that if you participate for the Japanese side, it's going to be easier to complete the events. However, the rewards aren't going to be as good. So what that exactly means, I'll explain, right? So we'll scroll down and you can see the rules. So you choose a side to fight for. Then you need to play battles in the nation's ships that you chose. You get points for your team, right? And you get personal points. So you need to get 10 points to get a participation prize, and for every 10 points that you earn, you'll get an extra ticket for our random draw that we're also doing. And at the end, the team that wins with the most points also gets an additional prize. Now, for the missions, how to earn points. You can either join the Japanese fleet, then all you need to do is play and be in the top 5 of your team by the end of the battle. This just makes it really easy because you can just focus on playing well. You don't have to make sure that you do something really specific. Just play the game well and you'll get rewarded by good basic speed scores and you'll get rewarded by placing high. For each time you complete this objective, you get 1 point, right? Objective 2 is to win a battle. Again, just play the battle well and you will win a battle. So each time you win a battle, you get another 1 point. If you are a co-op player, you can also do this in co-op, but every battle is only going to give you 0.5 points, and you cannot complete these games. However, since you're going to win almost every game, it'll take you about 20 games, and you'll have the participation prize in co-op, right? This is for tier 5 to tier 10 Japanese ships. Now, in the American fleet, you have to be among the top 2 in your team, but if you manage to do that, you get 3 points. So you can actually make it into the participation prize in just 3 battles, which is fantastic. You just have to play well. You also get additional 1 point for a win or half a point for a win in co-op. So that part works the same. But the challenge is harder here, but the reward is 3 times as high. There's a way to track your progress. We'll show that in a second. And then there's a lot about prizes, which you can figure out as well. Just have a look at the prizes.
Yeah. And just to highlight, I mean, this is the Shadow Lurker camouflage that was only available during the last year's Black Friday. So if you're a collector, best way to get your hands on that camouflage, and it looks amazing on ships. So
yes, we'll show that in a second as well.
I mean, hopefully you get that's a black camouflage, and you can get the reference why it's black.
Yes. Van La Luma Chakchua. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, man. But he says, winning 1,000 battles in just 4 days. Is that a bit too grindy? It's impossible. This mission is just there for you to be able to track how many points you've got. And I'll explain how that works in a second. Anyway, so there's a random prize pool where you can win some nice ships from the respective nation, and then we've got some enlistment targets. So depending on how many people participate, we're going to add a whole bunch of extra premium ships to make sure the chance of winning a random prize is, appropriately high. There are also individual prizes, which goes to the player with the most points. So if you just want to play for that, all you have to do is play games and score in the top of the team. So just play really well, be active over the weekend, and you have a good chance of picking up one of those prizes. Now, for enlisting, you've got a chance to join the Japanese fleet or join the Allied fleet. I am going to be... Who are you going to join, Chrysanthus?
So I joined the Allied fleet because I like it.
I also am going to join the Allied fleet. And that's all you have to do, is you just choose and you click. And we'll go into game and we'll look, see what that looks like. So check in game. Again, we go to combat missions. Go to personal assignments. And now you'll see... Sometimes it takes a minute. Do you have yours already? Here we go. No, it just popped up for me. So you see now we've got Axis versus Allies Battle of Salvo Island. Now we've got 2 different missions. These missions we've put in the game just because you guys said, it's a bit confusing to not know how much progress you've made and how many points you have. So these missions don't actually give you any reward, because we're going to give you the reward afterwards for participating, because you cannot win 1,000 battles in a time frame, and the reward is 1 credit, so it's not really worth it. But what you can just see then here is
unless you're really desperate for credits.
True. But what you can see is how many battles you've won, and you can also see in how many battles you've been in the top 2 of your team by experience. So you'll be able to really easily calculate your points by just taking this amount and just, each win equals 1 point. Or you can go to half a point if you play co-op, and for this mission, each win equals 3 points. There you go.
Exactly. So it's just an easier way for tracking this, because right now we don't have the, like, if we had a better capability to actually have this in game, we would have it, guys. But we had this event before, and a lot of the feedback was about, hey, I don't really know how many wins I got, so this is our way of basically giving you the option to just count your points and have a better visibility on that.
And if all of that just sounded too complicated, right? Literally go to the portal, think, do I like to play Japanese ships or American ships? Click a button and just play a couple of times over the weekend, and you're probably going to get a prize.
Yes.
Like, this is for the people who really want to try hard, know how it works, but for everyone else, just pick whatever nation you prefer and go play. That's it. Easy.
Yep. Exactly. And keep in mind, guys, that also ranked, the ranked season 13 kicked off today, and it's obviously included for that event as well. So you don't have to make a decision what you prefer. You can just play any PvP mode and use that.
Yes. Now let's play another game. Did we get a tier? We're doing too much talking, aren't we?
Yes. I'm sorry, guys. We just wanted to show you what's happening on this weekend, so you don't miss out on stuff.
We played tier 7. Why don't we go up bit by bit? Let's go play a tier 8 game next.
Okay.
And then we can work our way down again. We've got time anyway.
Danny199S is asking, does Wargaming release good IGN ships? Absolutely. I mean, if I even just talking about tier 8, for example, that we're playing, you have the Atago. You do have just the Amagi, for example, as a regular Tech 3 ship, which is a great battleship and fun to play. The Mogami is sometimes a bit harder to play, but still a great ship, and it gives you the option to go for a smaller or larger caliber even. And for high tiers, for example, I mean, the Yamato is an amazing ship. The Sao is an amazing ship, and I do understand that some people would like to see a different kind of concept behind certain premium ships that we have, especially for Japanese battleships, but we'll see what the future holds for you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go and take Mr. Halsey out on the Alabama. This looks like an acceptable battleship setup.
I think, I haven't played the Atago in ages, and I think
you chose American ships, right?
True, but maybe I'm a traitor to the Allied team and I'm a spy.
Maybe.
True. Now I have to make a decision. Do I want to get points or do I want to show the Atago?
Good question there in chat. Do we get Jingles Captain in the next patch? Do we? Do we know?
So you know what? I
Are you
wanted to ask this last week,
Yes.
and it got drowned with all of the other stuff that's happening currently. You know what? I'll just ask, and hopefully there will be an answer on my beautiful Skype channel. And yes, so chat, can you keep an eye on chat? Chat, what do you want to see? I can offer you. I can play Cleveland, or I can play Atago. You guys pick.
Guys, Cleveland or Atago? Should he participate in the mission or should he just play in Atago? Jingles for Gamescom? No, he's not coming to Gamescom this year. No, we brought Dasha instead. Atago. People want you to play Atago. Choice seems pretty clear.
What do they want to see?
Atago.
Atago.
Can we reassign the map M to some other letter? Why?
I think M, out of all of the keys, I would like to reassign sometimes.
I mean,
M is the one key I would not like to reassign because it's just the same key in pretty much any game I know that has a map where you just click on M.
Because map starts with...
You're... Are you sure?
It just makes sense, guys. Makes sense.
Sorry.
There's no giveaway today. If you enter the bonus code shown by Mr. Fishy there, you will be getting a personal mission that will reward you with 3 French Destroyers containers if you complete it. Okay. What's the gent's in-game name next to Mr. Conway? Chrysanthos.
That's me. Okay, let me just quickly...
Just think, about... cries. He cries and then he tosses. I don't know.
That's like the worst way of trying to get the cry into it.
How are we gonna? How else?
It's easy. Like my real name is Christian. So I try to find something that is like Chris and something behind it, and I just made it up. And then I realized that people were talking to me in Greek, and apparently chrysanthus means golden flower in Greek. I never knew about this, but yeah, that's my name now. So I'm just going to use my sound.
No giveaway. #unsubscribe. Well, that's fantastic because we don't have a subscriber feature on our channel. So if you would like to unsubscribe, be my guest.
So.
And yes. As Hayden says, if you put N for map, you kind of get nap, and I love nap.
And then you have to report players for being AFK. Yeah.
Yes,
that's the story of it.
Can we be quicker?
I already I didn't.
What the hell is that camouflage?
This is okay. I have to show this. This is like one of the funny camouflages we have in the game.
What?
So look
Which
at this.
one is this?
This was one of the special camouflages that we I think we sold 1.5 years ago. Yes,
Did we?
I think yes. And I think it actually came from the Asian server. Admitted you are Greek, says Elilos. Kali's better. So if I can show this. So because you have access to do 2 different color patterns, right? You could go for the blue one, which is nice, But this one looks cool. And then we also have there's the regular Type 10. My favorite one is actually the tropical one, because the tropical one looks just cool, and I don't know. Like I like this pattern a lot, but this one is the trolliest one I have, so I'm just going to take this.
I'm feeling a little let down.
Honey, I sunk the kids. I love the nickname is asking. Too many messages. No, I should have not done this. When are submarines coming? Well, if submarines are coming, we will let you know once there's anything we can announce about this. We tried them last year during the Halloween event in a PV environment, and we're still looking into it. Like we honestly, we would be the first who'd love to tell you about this if we could. So as soon as there is any kind of news on that, we will let you know. And with this, we're ready to go, right? Did I ready up? I readied up.
My mother says, "Are you sure you have enough camos?" And no, the funny thing is, right? You'll notice, even though he has literally thousands of camouflages, he often doesn't use them because he's worried to run out of them and would rather save them up.
So that's the thing. For example, on premium ships, right? On premium ships, I'll just use my premium camo because first of all, it looks great. And second of all, there's no need for me to use another one unless I really have to grind something. And outside of that, like on other ships, I use what is appropriate. But I'm very German about this, and you could click the battle button, by the way.
Could I?
But yes, I'm just very German about it. It's like, hey, I'm running. Like for me, dropping below 100 camouflages is kind of like running out of them. So I'd rather not use them. And I know that triggers other people, but that's just the way I play.
There's a question there. Any idea what date Italian cruisers are being released? I do actually have an idea. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I can't tell you. However, you can just do a bit of smart extrapolation, right? We've just announced them because they're just entering and starting their round on super test, and they've been on the public test server. So if you look at our past releases, you can maybe make a guesstimation, and that's probably going to be more or less accurate. Well, it's
Unless we change it.
Unless we change it. But it's not going to be super long. But obviously, especially with the new mechanics, with semi-armor piercing ammunition and the fuel smoke and stuff, we do want to make sure we do a proper barrage of live tests to make sure that they're properly balanced. So you can look forward to seeing those kick off soon, on channels of your preference, ours as well, of course. As soon as we can play them, we will play them.
Yeah. And I just wanted to show the Atago here. So the Atago is great because, first of all, you have a detectability range if you go for a concealment build of 9.3 kilometers. You have 10-kilometer torpedoes, and look at these torpedo angles. So you can actually be quite aggressive with them and launch them on this angle. And you have 2 sets of torpedoes here for that side. So overall, look at the amount of torpedoes you have here. And 4 torpedo launchers. Just amazing. In firepower, you have these guns that are amazing. You're a bit limited in range, but you're very sneaky. You have great torpedoes, and on top of that, the repair party on a cruiser on tier 8, which is super, super, super useful.
It's if you guys play Japanese cruisers, if you like a Zao, then it feels a bit like a tier 8 Zao, albeit with less armor. But it plays very much in the same way. It's you sneak up, you strike, you disappear again.
The only thing that I think sometimes can be a bit not really frustrating, but something you just have to get used to is the turret traverse is very, very slow. So you just have to be aware of that.
That was a horrible salvo I just shot. Wow.
But I'll just try to have some fun with these BBs. The Vladivostok is probably aiming at me.
Such a small map.
Especially in the beginning in cruises, it depends a lot on the matchmaking that you get. But I like to, in the beginning, play a bit more carefully. Obviously, you want to provide cover and help to your friends and especially to your DDs. But for example, right now we're not fighting over any cap zones, so I'm just going to be a bit careful about what I'm engaging. Oh, that Vladivostok. I hope he doesn't have a good aim.
Look at a predictable set of torpedoes.
So I got the Fiji trying to spam me, and there we go. Just annoy him a bit, and then I usually love to play around a bit with speed, just to throw off the enemy. I mean, that Fiji now is going to get a few hits, but he's not really dealing that much damage, and I'm going to just annoy these guys a bit. And then later on, especially during mid-game, late game, that's a great time to actually use those torps. But in the beginning, don't be too greedy about them. Let the field clear up a bit. Not the main turrets, Mr. Fiji. Let the battlefield clear up a bit, and then you can just go ham on stuff. He's not killing that fire, okay. Then we get the second fire. Okay, he doesn't want to kill it. Excellent. And the good thing is I don't have to worry too much about that Fiji shooting me a bit. As long as the battleships don't get citadels, I can heal a lot of damage. And now I see the Benson is up, so I'll try to help a bit with applying some damage here. Actually, can I... I'll probably now I have to turn in. Also, Mr. Conway, we can also show a little bit of your gameplay. Alabama is a great all-rounder BB. Rohan Navalkes asking, why do you make so many paper premiums when there are plenty of real ships? It really depends on what kind of ships we're looking at. We usually try to have as many real ships as possible in the game. Sometimes we're looking for a specific kind of gameplay or something really interesting that might not have been a real ship, but was in the plans. So now, for example, we're fighting this DD, and you will see that these guns, they hurt
don't have premium consumables. What happened?
Oh, you pulled a Mr. Conway! So that Benson, he's still just He's slowly turning in.
God damn it, this is gonna cost me this game. Unless Chrysanthos can carry me. Carry me, Chrysanthos, carry me.
Well, I get it. First of all, I have to deal with this Benson, and then we can talk about carrying. So he was around here. Oh, he's dead. I'm tempted to go for that Fiji. Missed my Salvo on the Benson, unfortunately. I hope our Haikaze can survive this.
You know, we're down 4 ships already, right?
Oof.
5.
Oof. Okay, well then we have to push a bit. My problem is, especially on this flank here.
I'm below half health and I don't have premium consumables. I ain't pushing nowhere.
So we'll blame this on you.
Yes.
Yes. So guys, for the I love the stream code for the Russian server, that's not going to work because you will get the Russian code tomorrow on the Russian stream. Maybe we can adjust it for the future, but this time we thought, for English-speaking audience, so we have that for EU, for Asia, and for NA. This code is working, and for Russian audience, we have the Russian stream tomorrow. And yeah, I'll just have to. Okay, let's load AP. I need to be a bit greedy here on that Fiji, and I hope my reload is finished in time. I should be able to surprise him, and I'm going to launch some torps into that smoke. So as you can see, I need to take that risk. Well, at least one citadel. The Vladivostok, is he pushing?
He is accelerating towards us again. Yes.
Yes, he's my. Oh, he's not aiming at me. So my biggest concern is the Gneisenau right now.
The enemy team is also being super aggressive, pushing across the board. I mean,
that's what I love about this map. This map in general is the best map for just pushing and having great fights. Oh, hello. If we could get that Benson out of the way, that would help our team because we lost. Oh, just
full broadside over.
Yeah, I prefer to shoot the DD. Lost that opportunity. Oh. Okay, I need to be careful because that Fiji is going to torp me with single launch torpedoes. Turn.
And everybody in the enemy team is angling really well as well. This is quite frustrating. We're gonna have to repeat.
Can you help me with that Fiji? Just a bit scared about his torps, and I'm going to take that risk here.
Oh, I cannot, by the way.
I see.
Nice triple. Did you just kill this Fiji with secondaries? But now I remember because I hate the Massachusetts because I've never the Alabama because I always consistently forget to mount premium consumables, so I've never had a good game in it.
I have no idea how to fix this.
I neither do I. Like I would have to actually remember to do it, which so far does not seem to be possible.
A bit of a pickle here. I have to. This is not going to work out. I need to be.
I think I would launch the torpedoes.
Yeah. I didn't want to launch them because there's the Harikaze. I'll take the risk, and I'll also launch one here for the Gneisenau potentially.
You did anyway. Might as well launch all of them. But he's probably coming around the other side.
Just believe, chat.
No, he's coming. He's coming.
Oh.
See? What would you do without my advice, Chrysanthos?
Not on this side. Wait. Mr. Captain shite a lot. I also nominate you for the prize of torpedoes, and you won. Thank you very much for cooperating here. Oh, he's down to 800 HP. Well, we got 160k damage out of it. So we tried. I don't remember who said that. Oh, and Flambers is hosting us for 1,140 viewers, and we didn't miss it this time. So Flambers, thank you very much for the host. And how are you doing, man?
This is a typical situation. I have 30,000 damage and I sunk, and Chrysanthos just 160.
Well, I mean, thanks to the two battleships saying, "Oh no, this game is not good for you. Let's sail into the torps." But that's the great thing about the Targo. You can heal. You have great guns. You have great torpedoes, great concealment, and it's I don't know. It's still one of my favorite ships, even though I don't play it as much anymore. There used to be a time where I played it at least twice per day, but yeah. That was good. Yes, that was a fun moment, I have to admit. But I think we can leave this battle because I believe in you, Destiny. This match is your destiny. It's basically even double a solo warrior, and you can do it. You just have to believe. We believe in you as well, and I don't even have to watch. I know you're going to win this, man.
Well, we need to play another game in Alabama now anyway, because otherwise
Well,
I will forget again, and this is going to happen again and again. I just can't take it anymore.
When will the information for Gamescom come? Tomorrow, Captain Foxtrot. Tomorrow there will be the fully fledged out, detailed publication with all of the info. And if you still have questions, you can just come to Mr. Conway and we will answer those questions. Deathstalker RVT says, next time, Mr. Conway, premium consumables. It's always a good advice. When I play with Mr. Conway, I tell him the same thing as well. Like, did you check for consumables? Did you mount upgrades? Yeah, of course I did. Will the HSF ARP Azulane ships be back on sale again? So for HSF and Azulane, there's a chance. For ARP, it's a bit unlikely, at least in the foreseeable future. Maybe at some point in the further future. But the problem is that our collaboration with Arpeggio, it ran out on the 31st of December of 2016. I remember this because that was the time when we had all of the crazy ARP missions to get, for example, the ARP Miyoko. And I think the Azulane one also ran out. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to double check. So, I mean, obviously there's a chance, but nothing soon TM as far as I know.
So let's do this again. You can play a different ship. I need to play Alabama one more time with the consumables mounted properly and all pieces of equipment.
Okay, so chat. What ship would you like me to play? That is not the Atago, because we just played the Atago. And I love that you train chat to help you play. With several guys saying, Mr. Conway, premium consumables. Don't forget.
Yes, I've done it. I like a chat, please. You know, like a trust is good, but trust but verify. Look, mounted, and we have upgrades.
So Reload MOA is asking, hey, you just got here from the Flambers host, so what's with the neon puke camo on Atago, and how do I get this? So actually, I can check whether we can put her on sale again. She was on sale in for anniversary, and it would be a great time to put it back on sale for the anniversary. I will double check whether we can make this happen.
What's that symbol on the front there?
It's a 2. I think it was something from the Asian server.
Wasn't it maybe a second anniversary?
For Chinese server, something like this. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but basically, it's one of the premium camouflages that you can get, and I think this is actually the second pattern. This was the original one, and then we had this one. And I know it's a horrible combination, at least for me, having like violet, pink, greenish mixed. Probably not the best thing. It's still like
it's disgusting, and I love it.
It's disgusting, but I love it. But what I have to admit here. When I felt really sad and I wanted to troll people, I used Mr. Conway, we didn't even show it, sorry. So I love to use this ship, for example. The ARP Miyoko that you cannot get anymore. But the great thing is it has the ARP torpedo explosion that is also kind of pinkish. And the
ARP smoke as well.
And the ARP smoke, yes.
If we're playing tier 8, why don't you play the Takao?
I can play the Takao, actually, yes.
So we can show the.
So wait,
because I'm sure there are some people who don't know about the effects.
So there was the camo that we were just talking about for the Atago, which is actually called. Let me double check. It is called Special because it's very special. My actual favorite camo for that ship is the Tropical one, in green. I usually love blue, but in green, I think it just fits a bit better.
I think they're both quite pretty. I had one question right in chat about the 1,000 battle mission with 1 credit reward. Right, let me just please illustrate one more time what this is all about. Right, not campaigns, missions. Come on, go away. We have a special event running this weekend, which you can, from now until the weekend, which you can opt into, which is for the Battle of Salvo Island, where you can pick either American or US side, and you have to play ships of that nation, and you get a corresponding mission. We did a similar event for like last month, And your feedback was that it's hard to know how many points you've done and how many of the missions you've basically completed. So we give you these 2 missions. They're not completable because you can't play 1,000 battles in that time, and the reward is 1 credit. But it allows you to see how many of the battles you've won and how many battles you've won while being the top 2 of your team. So you can see how many points you've earned, and you can track your progress that way. So it's just a tracking mission, so don't get confused to it.
So there were a few questions. There was one question from Challenger_Neasy. Hi, Crosshunters, do you remember me? I do. And if I'm not mistaken, you used to be 380k. Yes, we used to play together. What was the other question? Hey, you planning implementing clan flags or national flags? I mean, we would love to. But not in the foreseeable future, but maybe in the future further down the road. Yeah, the 2nd anniversary or something, the Shanost version Korgan exactly what was also on sale then. And any chance Wargaming would do another collaboration with ARP? As I said, there's obviously a chance, but I cannot make any promises.
And yes, Ziegenförster, I do have premium account for the next 12 years. It's because I went to World of Tanks and used all my gold there to buy premium time.
Exactly. So I'm sorry. I should probably ready up, right? That would be helpful.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to appear rude.
At least appear. That ship killing FPS, the pink one. So Naval Warlord. So for me, it was if you manage to sink somebody, that's already a good feeling for you and probably a bad feeling for the other guy, right? But if you manage to sink him in a pink ship, that's adding a little bit, injury turns.
I have to say, I think Torpedoes isn't big enough.
Indeed. So, Rohan, if you like, I know that you want us to play the Molotov, and maybe we can get the Molotov in today.
We should definitely do that.
Is the code for the website or in-game? Where do you put it? Some here got to know. So it's very easy. You go to your World of Warships portal, whatever region you're on. For example, for Europe, it would be worldofwarships.eu. And then you go on the top right corner where you have your account. You just click on your nickname. There will be a drop-down menu. And then at the very bottom, there's a link called Activate Wargaming Code. You just click on that. And then that's where you get your stuff.
Look, if you're on Twitch, I'm gonna just push the button and spam the instructions. There we go. Yeah.
Actually, I will just copy it over for YouTube, so you have it on YouTube as
we can even put the code up one more time. Yeah, so you can see on my screen, if we look at the exterior view here, that the smoke is different. It has like a super pixelated cartoony effect that's on purpose. And the torpedoes are also quite swanky. It's a cool ship. I miss them. You don't see them as much anymore nowadays because it's quite a rare item for people to have.
So, what about kill cams so people can enjoy the horror that sunk them? That's a cool idea, but that will probably take a bit of time to actually implement. But we can suggest it.
And people will probably hate it until they start having it.
You just see like the salvo that came in and shot you. I have a funny story to share. So this week I was playing with Mr. Tekane that you might know. He used to play for Rain and now he's working for us, and with Greg, our beautiful content editor, and we were playing on tier 10. And we were fighting on the new map Greece that has been added to the game pretty recently. And we were fighting. I was in a Sao and Mr. Tikane was in a Yamato. And like we were losing our flank to a certain degree. So we were rather far back, and I was trying to get into a different position. I was sailing, basically coming up next to Mr. Tikane. And I wanted to troll him a little bit, right? So torpedoes don't arm within 300 meters. So basically I drove up next to him and I launched my torpedoes. Suddenly, my HP pool went from full HP to 3000 HP or 4000 HP because the salvo of the enemy Sovietsky Soyuz that was supposed to hit Mr. Tikane in his Yamato landed on my full broadside and almost nuked me. That was my saddest moment. I was not spotted at all. I was complete out of nowhere, suddenly like, foomp. Oh, that was a sad feeling. Sorry, I had to share this.
We are also sorry that you had to share this.
Yeah. Yamato can't make damage on the Stalingrad. Is it normal? It depends on where you hit it.
Yamato can damage everything. Everything. There's nothing the Yamato cannot damage. That's the Yamato's whole thing. And it's amazing at it. And please don't diss the Yamato.
But the thing is, you probably were trying to overmatch the bow, which won't work for the Stalingrad because it has a 50mm bow.
Just shoot
so you have to shoot a little bit higher, and basically you want to deal damage to the superstructure and everything beyond that. So since that Baltimore is pretty much alone there, we'll try to have some fun with him. I just have to be careful about that bloody Vostok. So I should actually be able to...
I just want him to do a potato turn so I can block him, but he doesn't. He knows how to play his Vladivostok. He's paying good attention to his angles, and now he's actually showing broadside, but he's only showing broadside to ships that don't matter for broadsides.
By saying your team matters don't matter to you?
I'm saying, like, in a Vladivostok, giving a broadside to an Edinburgh is not the end of the world.
The problem is our cargo just got nuked by him.
But we are waiting patiently
for
an angle. He still didn't get it, but
well, at least he doesn't have an angle on me. Rough situation. Like, I don't like our team movement because we're all in A and we don't have any control over the Vladivostok. But the Vladivostok is showing full broadside to the Ismail, and the Ismail should be able to actually...
Now the Ismail might be able to do something.
Baltimore, I have to do something stupid now, but I need to prepare for that Vladivostok appearing right next to me. Because that Baltimore is still here, and I might actually just...
Can I get the shells over? I might be getting a juicy salvo here. Yes! Double citadel. See? It was worth waiting, worth exposing a little bit of my broadside. That was a nice juicy salvo, and that Vladivostok should be out of the game soon.
Okay, so I should be able to spot that the Baltimore very soon. Oh, there's also the Chapayev. And for the Chapayev, I'm actually going to load AP. On 15 kilometers, I might be able to citadel him. Such a lightly armored cruiser.
Okay. Thought the Belfast was going to be slower there. I'm going to switch over to you.
Okay, there's not much happening right now. The Baltimore is still not spotted.
Somebody, so please kill that bloody Vladivostok.
On it.
Our Bismarck should be able to do it as well. Don't let him heal up.
So the thing is that, I mean, yes, I could be greedy now and just turn, but I don't think I want to do that with a Vladivostok on that range.
No, not
hitting would be nice, so I should probably get better at aiming here. There we go. He should be burning down, but let's make sure he's dead.
He's dead. Nice.
Yeah. So the reason why I was a bit more cautious here, because that Baltimore was basically bow on me, and if I would have just sailed straight up here, that would have meant me showing a full broadside to a very, very evil cruiser when it comes to AP on my broadside. So I didn't want to give him that. Now we need to actually go back to B and recap that.
That Chapayev is basically standing still, by the way.
Oh, and yes, so if you want to get that torpedo effect from the actually, I will show this to you. So this is how the torpedo effect is going to look like. So look at this in a second. I know I'm not going to shoot here for a second, but I just wanted to show this to you. So these are the torpedo effects. They're quite ridiculous, but I love it.
Some would say historically accurate.
Yes.
I mean, at least in the Arpeggio universe.
In the Arpeggio universe, I'm sure. Surely they are historically accurate.
Maybe they're weebly accurate. I don't know. Is that the word? There used to be a webcomic called Weebly.
Wolf, it really depends on the armor. The overmatch mechanic does ignore angles in most cases, but yeah, Flamo has quite a few cool videos on mechanics. I would also recommend watching his video about IFHE. Because it's very educational about when to use IFHE and how HE works in general, and how IFHE, for example, at least in the current state, is useful on certain ships, and why it's not so useful for other ships.
That Baltimore is playing far too well.
What was that? That was an evil citadel out of nowhere.
Yeah, Baltimore's playing really well. I almost had his broadside there, but
as
of
you can
course,
see,
going close
this
range versus a Bismarck will always mean you're going to
So
die.
this was my mistake here initially, but I thought I had enough angle on him to be able to use my rear turrets. But that's why I said this is a very evil ship. It has a good normalization, and it will just hurt a lot. These super heavy shells from American cruisers are just very evil. So I paid the price for being too greedy.
Nice. Got my secondary ribbon as well for the day.
So where do we have other battleships? Trying to get a better grip of the map right now.
There's still a Biscavizza in the smoke.
Oh, the
over there.
Bayern immediately repaired. So also I'm trying to give my team some intel that, hey, you know, this target here is now ripe for farming, because you shouldn't really kill the first fire. I mean, yes, he's down to 15k, but it's, you know, like he's down to like half health. So he could have probably waited and checked whether he's able to survive this or not. And then maybe, you know, kill it if he's behind the island, because...
Oh, Bliskavitza's almost down as well.
Yeah, trying to get him if nobody else gets him. Bismarck got him with the secondaries, nice. So we just have to be a bit careful about the potential torpedoes that he put out.
Should I go block the cat? No, we're okay for points, right?
Okay, so 10 seconds, we can heal up a bit more, and this is where the Atago is... You know, it's such a nice little all-rounder, because you can also deal with situations like this. You can get your heal back up and then go back into the fight. And the Takao is basically just an Atago with a different camouflage, and it doesn't get the plus 3% bonus.
But it's just 3%. Oh, there's actually a Takao on the enemy team too.
Yes, das Gewürzwiesel.
Das Gewürzwiesel. If you're watching the stream...
Oh,
Belfast at 10 kilometers.
Yes.
Oh.
He's in a bad position.
I think the word that we're looking for, and yes, we did change the stream to be mature recently, is
So
he's fucked. I'm sorry.
Fucked, yes.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Belfast, but oh, that hurt. That hurt. I mean, not me, but him.
Oh, I didn't even get to land shots, because that's the thing about the Belfast. Yes, it's a very strong ship if you can dictate the fight in the Belfast.
Yeah,
but as soon as you're out of position and, you know, there are things hunting you and you're spotted, it's a very lightly armored cruiser.
He just made a mistake. He just slid out of his smoke. Only just. Gewürzwiesel. If you're watching the stream, let us know. I want to know if that's why we are seeing a Takao here, or if it was just RNG. Ah, god damn it. He wasn't going fast.
So launching here some torps just in case that Dunkirk keeps pushing and pushing and pushing.
He looks like he is.
We have to be a bit careful about that Bayern. Yeah, I mean, this is something you don't want to do here. You don't want to push into that kind of stuff that is... Oh, God.
That was me.
That was you?
Yes.
You're a dirty little boy.
Well, I'm sorry. He's pushing into me, and he was showing broadside, so...
Yeah, I mean, the broadside, the Dunkirk is a great ship, but the broadside is so squishy.
Wolf 2293 says, breakfast, Mr. Conway. I agree.
Yes.
A bit of French... Oh, god damn it. That was a waste of the Salvo. French toast? Anyone?
Mm-hmm. So where is the Bismarck
Incidentally,
going?
French toast is amazing.
So in general, oh no, I don't have torpedoes for the Bayern. In general, I would always recommend, if you're the top tier ship, like for example this enemy Bismarck, you need to really carry your weight and try to be as helpful as possible to your team. Okay, we don't want to be too greedy here.
We don't?
No, it's just quite a few battleships coming up, like a Sinop, for example. The Sinop does have wow.
I do want to be greedy, so I'm going to slow down to get the cap.
So that's Sinop. Can I get... Okay, so... Okay, he's aiming at me. I would love to get my torpedoes off, but... No, that... Wow. No, be nice. That hurt. Like I said, that's just going to overmatch us. But we set him on fire, so we should be able to just burn. No, he's repairing, and let's see whether we can do this better. Oh no, that's the evil thing about the ship. Just in case he gets me. Should have loaded AP. Should have loaded AP. Should have gone for this. Nah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I misplayed this because I went for the superstructure and the Sinop doesn't have a lot of superstructure. And I should have just gone for the bow because I can overmatch it. Not overmatch it, but I could just penetrate it with HE. So that was my bad. And in that situation, you need to...
Please.
This is where your knowledge about ships can be very helpful.
Chris,
if you know...
I'm about to do it. Am I going to do it?
Yes.
Can we get the kill through the gap?
Yes. Nice. Nicely done.
Got the kill through the gap.
Will there be a Belfast giveaway in future streams? Asks T-Bread. I would say there's a good chance for that, but only during very, very special streams.
At Wargaming, how often do you play your own game? That really depends a lot, right? So, obviously, like everyone else, we have times where we play in our free time more often and less often. Because, you know, sometimes we play different games, especially the two of us play quite a lot of games together. And we have frequent evenings playing World of Warships, but sometimes we, you know, just feel like something else.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we all play during work time. But how much we play during work time depends a little bit on workload. I mean, ideally, we'd all like to, and this is something we've always encouraged to, since I've been in Wargaming, to dedicate at least an hour every day at work to playing. Because you need to know. You need to know what's happening, you need to know the meta, you need to know changes, we need to do things like play a public test, you know, to make sure we keep up to date with all the things, especially things like AA changes. You know, we do sessions, we sit down, we go in game and we figure that out. But we all play reasonably high amounts. But like right now, for instance, I am so busy at work. I don't play at work at the moment. The last few weeks,
it really depends. I mean, if you take a look at, for example, our battle count, that should give you a good indication of how much we played.
Yes,
the one thing to keep in mind is that for example, we play a lot of test ships because we provide internal feedback, and these battles, they don't show up. If you watch our contributors, you will also see that, you know, test ships, these battles don't count towards the stats. But even without that aspect, we play our game as much as we can.
Yeah. I just want to highlight a couple of things here, right? Because we were talking about the missions and everything. So obviously we've got some task completions here, whatever, some regular missions, right? They're the ones that we're interested in right now. So we've got the fight with us, right? So I managed to complete a stage from the week 3 mission and a stage from the week 2 mission. And then also we've got the daily mission battle of Salvo Island. That's in, and then we should be able to go and Come on, let's go back, and we should be able to.
What are you looking for? Combat missions? Just click on the combat missions. It's right. Yeah.
I know it's there, but I was trying to get rid of all the chat windows.
I don't think you won't be able to. You will be able to. But
right.
Guys, I mean, if you like Mr. Conway, you can always just send him a message with a little heart in game.
Yes. And now you can see for the Axis vs. Allies Battle of Salvo Island, so I've got 1 completion of this one, and I've got 1 completion of this one, because I've been in the top 2 of my team. So I've got 1 and the 3, so 4 points with this one mission, 1 battle. And if I get 10 points, I'll get the participation reward.
Yes, and guys, if you want to play with us, just send a message to Mr. Conway, and he will try to get you in.
Stop sending messages to Mr. Conway. Like last week we did the 50k special stream, and I know saying this is probably going to make it happen. Please don't, because last week you literally crashed my client, and I had to restart. I mean,
we had 7,000 people sending messages to Mr. Conway, so we kind of broke his.
Super
but in general,
so
the idea, maybe what we should do. Maybe what we should do is we should create maybe an in-game channel for Division Up with the Twins, and then we can randomly select.
I think
maybe. So we'll think about this. But in general, usually just message the Division commander.
It depends how many people are playing. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe we should actually try and use like a queue system in Twitch rather than that. So we'll figure something out. This is a good thing to improve. So I want to go up to tier 9 because I want to keep doing my American missions.
Sure.
And we said we're going to go up tier by tier.
Yes. So there was a comment here from Rohan on YouTube. He said, hey, in case for those that might have missed the ARP missions, there is a mod on the either mod station that we have or Aslan's mod collection, for example, where you can get the effect as well if you want to do that.
How long would the stream be? Asks Ricky Boy. Ricky Boy, we're going to stream till 9 o'clock our time, so that's another hour and 40 minutes of us, if you can stand it. We'd be happy to be here with us. Tony Scott says, Mr. Conway and Chrysanthos, you should try EVE Online.
No comment.
No.
might have clicked a certain button there.
No comment.
Yes.
No comment. Let us know what alliance you're in. We can PM.
So but what we're going to do is probably after the next 2 matches, we're probably going to move over to the public test client to check out the new changes that were just applied. Because the public test, as you know, we already had session number 1, and we have I should probably pick a ship while we're talking about this. And the second session is live. Should be live now. So we're going to test the changes there. So you have Missouri, we have a Benham, and you know what? What do I have that would actually work in this kind of environment nicely? You know what? Maybe I'll just try the Alaska and we'll go full American. And the Blue Tiger, if you want to play with us, please contact Mr. Conway, even though I think we have enough people for today. So I'm ready.
Wolf says, can you clip that and send it to Blizzard, Mr. Conway? Feels like they stopped playing their own games years ago. And you know, I can guarantee you that it's 100% untrue. Just with us, like with us, right? I know there were a lot of memes going around. We had our lead, our balance team lead here. And, you know, somebody asked him, and, you know, his English is not 100% perfect. I think maybe he misunderstood it a little bit, but he said mostly he doesn't play that much only on a private server. But what people fail to realize is that he's, I think, like rank around the 100th best player on the entire Russian cluster, and obviously super experienced. It depends, you know, like how much we play always varies, but you can be assured that we all know what we're talking about because it's what we do every day.
Yes.
Except for me, I sometimes get confused and talk and say things that aren't entirely
we
accurate.
all sometimes get confused, but overall, like, we try to spend as much time in our games as we can, and that's true for at least the guys I know from other companies. You know, they do this because they love it and because they want to be part of, you know, like a gaming company, and they usually like the gaming company they're working for a lot, so they play the games and they will dedicate as much time as possible to those games. And I know that sometimes, you know, certain decisions, they might seem like, hey, these guys, how can they make this decision? I don't really understand it, but we have a reasoning for all of these decisions, and we do our best to actually communicate them. So, for example, the dev blog is something that was born out of the our wish and your demand for having more transparency about changes. And if you take, for example, last week Friday, if you haven't seen it, we had a stream with our live producer, Sub Octavian, explaining the recent changes that we apply to the Siegfried and the Colbert and the reasoning behind it. And you will see a lot of stats, you will see some insights into how we do this, how we approach it, how we incorporate feedback that we get from testers, from us, for example, as employees, from contributors and so on. Also the feedback that we see from your side about the ships, and how we apply it. And I think it's on YouTube, for example, as VOD, or even just if you go to Twitch on the past broadcast last Friday, and you can watch that. And I think it's like we do our best to actually showcase this where we can.
Yes, and honestly, and I say this not because I get paid to say this, I still think
it's the best way to kick off that sentence, Mr. God.
I honestly think still think to this day that World of Warships is one of the best sort of like online games of its kind out there. I think it's lots and lots of fun, and what I like most about it is that you win World of Warships not by, you know, like having good reflexes, learning how to click a certain pixel on the screen to land a headshot, but by thinking about what you're doing, by applying some tactics to your movements, and to just, you know, like not being a potato.
Yeah, it's not the fastest game, and I like that aspect about it as well, because you do have your time to make your tactical decisions, to position yourself in a way where it makes sense for you.
And you're getting old.
And I'm getting old. That's true. That does help. And oh, that's a very nice smoke here, Sanja.
That's a terrible salvo.
The only problem is we don't have a spot right now, so please go spot. But
Sanja,
Sanja, be careful.
Camp. Go camp. I'm here. I can protect you from other radar, and
yes,
I don't think.
Well,
there's any
the
there.
Missouri
Just
is
go
over
camp.
here, so the radar will be coming from this side. So that's good to know. But there's a CNOB. Maybe we can. The CNOB is fully broadsided if you can get a hit on him.
I've got a fully broadsided key as well.
Ooh, nice.
Actually managed to aim a salvo.
Sven is asking, will there be new codes? There is already one code. It's I love the stream with 3 for the TH E, and then the stream is the A is a 4. There it is. There
It's
it
that
is.
one.
Perfect.
Maybe we should like mirror our camera output so that it actually stops screwing with our head.
Yes, that's true. But
We could.
but I think that's also part of the entertainment. I'm not so sure where the other guys are. I am tempted to push a radar here and just see whether there's anything creeping up on us, but it's not. Doesn't seem like it.
No, it looks pretty safe right now.
Ah, the IGV is coming
There's-
in here. But he's not pushing.
Reversing. Can we get? Oh, he reverses pretty quickly now. Yeah, maybe we can do a little bit of damage. What's that key doing? That key is going like balls deep.
No. I don't want to be spotted right now. Oh, he's not shooting me.
And he's shooting me. How absolutely unacceptably rude of him. How dare he? Doesn't he know who I am?
Who are you?
I am Mr. Conway.
The one and only.
One and only.
Oh,
I need to move from here.
Come on. Reload guns.
This is gonna be too much broadsiding.
Oh, I would love to punish this Algerie. There's a fully broadsided Missouri to your right.
Yeah, I've got too many targets to my left to worry about right now.
Just
sorry.
just thought if you might have a shot.
Yeah. Sorry, no. I'm too busy trying to adjust my angle here without giving other people broadside. You know, I had to think about. I was thinking about World of Warships yesterday because my kids watch this TV channel, and there's this show, this very small children's TV show. It's called Small Potatoes, and it's got the most glorious tunes on. That really fits so well to World of Warships.
Maybe somebody can put it in chat.
Maybe somebody can put it in chat. Yes.
I don't know it, but I trust your judgment.
My
on this.
children's judgment, yeah.
Yeah.
That key is just refusing to die, and he's just pummeling my broadside, as he should be. He shouldn't have survived to get where he got.
I can't believe how I'm not able to hit that Cleveland.
Alright, we seem pretty secure. I'm gonna pop a radar because I have a feeling there might be an Akatsuki in range.
How am I missing him? I don't really play like a proper potato now.
There is no Akatsuki in range, so God knows where he went. Okay, well, I guess north seems like it's gonna stay secure for a while, so I'm gonna start pushing south as well, right? I'm gonna just wheel around and give you some support that way, in that direction.
So is that Algerie? How is he still alive? Okay, we'll just edit this. There we go. I would like to get this Cleveland out of the battle.
Wow, there's a Baltimore right there. Like at 10 kilometers right there. Baltimore, I think you may have done goofed here. What do you think, Chris?
I trust you.
Big mistake?
Ah, these are the Algerie torps.
I might be in a bit of a spot of bother here.
Sorry, I can't help you right now. Wait, the Algeritops are 8
Okay, well,
kilometers,
if
right?
the Baltimore was paying attention here, he would be shooting AP, and he would have absolutely 100% killed me already. But because he's shooting HE on my broadside, I mean, it hurts, but obviously doesn't hurt as much as it could.
Oh, I'm
4 over penetration. Look at this, Chris. 4 over penetrations.
just, get better. Yeah, but I have the Ibuki, and the Ibuki is going to torp me here, unfortunately. I'm trying to. I might be able to.
Just come on. Like, you not seeing what I've got here? Can we not have some citadels, please?
Oh, okay. So I wasted my salvo.
Finally.
Okay.
I'm dead,
That's not what I want to hear. I wanted to hear, hey, you know what? I'm just going to heal, and then I'm back in the battle.
No, I'm dead.
Okay, my problem.
Xenop can't shoot. Okay, Ibuki
is going to melt.
150 hit points.
Okay,
All I need. I don't know. Can I get into cover before the Xenop shoots me?
Okay,
Oh,
I
no,
need to
there's
push that
Zeppelin
radar
bombers.
button because I need to know what the Missouri is doing. Okay.
There are fighter planes coming in. I am toast. Even I don't think the Zeppelin can possibly miss this. That's okay. I did my part. Now it's up to you.
I'm trying to do something about the Ibuki, and that Xenop is like as soon as the Missouri is gone, I can have a better game here. The Vladivostok is pushing really hard, so it's good.
Sanjay says, Chrysanthos, denk an die Belfast Games.
Yeah, so Sanja, actually, funny story. He was he attended quite a few of our offline events in Germany, and he's always asking me for Belfast, and I'm always the evil guy who says no. So he's trying.
Look, there are people that you can meet at our Gamescom party that have the power to give you a Belfast. You just have to go and talk to them for hours, and you just basically the trick is to find them and just keep talking to them till they want to get rid of you, and then possibly you can get a Belfast. But it's very unlikely.
The Mr. Conway guide to how to get a Belfast. Maybe what we should do for one of the offline events, we put there a table, and we put there, for example, you or me, and we basically have a big sign saying Belfast here, and below that, convince me.
Yes. But Sanjay, we do it the different way, right? Because you can't just say like, oh, what's with my Belfast? What are you willing to do to get that Belfast? Convince us. And Sanjay, it's not a party, it's a player gathering.
So I'm a bit like
it might contain some party-like elements, but it is
party-like elements like music and
alcohol,
banter, and
food,
activities and food,
concerts and stuff.
Drinks.
But it's not a party; it's a player gathering.
Because we're gathering, not to party, but to share our mutual love in the community.
Yes.
Okay, so once we kept this, and these guys decided to move a bit.
Mr. Conway, bitte Deutsch. Okay, I'm gonna do this in German, just for you, Sanjay. Sanjay, so einfach gibt's eine Belfast nicht. Wenn du wirklich eine haben möchtest, dann musst du dir schon was echt Außergewöhnliches überlegen, weshalb du denn eine Belfast bekommen solltest. Hast ja noch eine 1,5 Wochen Zeit.
So I'm doing something stupid here, but the battle is almost over, and I really want to just, have some fun here. And I hope I will be able...
Oh, look at that! Look at the 2 people just sitting there. Oh, yes, you've got the angle.
Yes.
He's got the top angle on you soon as well.
Well, let's see how he's launching those tops.
Repair. You need your front turret.
Well, I'm waiting for other things too, actually. So, let's see. No, I can't get that citadel. Maybe. Let's see, he should be able to... Can actually... Yes. Okay, let's do this first. He got me through the bow, but
Still
that's
good.
okay. We won this, and I wanted to have some action at the end, because the game was already over.
Francesco Pignone is asking, what are you meant to get with the code? Sorry if you butchered your name, but you are supposed to get a mission. It's called Fight With Us, Week 3. You complete it in-game, and you will get 3 French Destroyers containers.
Yeah, So this game, not the greatest. I mean, we got 3 kills, but we did not contribute as much to these 3 kills as we could have. But we had 6 citadels.
I may have earned a credit or 2.
Maybe. Missouri is like I would say halfway decent at making credits. Just halfway.
What about a wargaming office tournament for the 4th year of World of Warships, just for the wargaming staff, streamed live, of course?
We could think about it, but the problem. So here's the problem.
The problem is that St. Petersburg is going to whoop our butt.
Well, I'm just saying here that last year for the anniversary, we did have a small tournament, like just a small one. You know, just have some fun torpedo versus torpedo battles, and Europe actually won it. So I think we'll never have a tournament again because I think it has been settled that the European team was the best one. No, it was just all good fun and banter. No, the problem with running an internal tournament, we would love to have all regions participate in that, and the problem is time. Because time works in weird ways, and that means that when it's, for example, 8 p.m. here, it's a completely different time in Asia, for example, or North America. Russia would be okay, but that's in general the problem we face with like global things.
Chat, we can crowdsource this, right? All you need to do right now is each go to our premium shop and purchase 1 tier 8 premium ship, and then we can fly everyone here for a tournament and stream it.
Exactly.
Chrysanthos told me to do it. Well, he doesn't even want a bloody game. He just.
Well, I mean, it's always good to
listen. Think of the secondary rating.
No, I already hate every single time when you force me to play in a triple battleship division.
A request is a request is a request.
But no, not triple triples. Come on.
I want to play with you. I have no money. Well, I'm sorry,
Do you know anything about a cat flag code? No. So in order to get the cat flag, what you have to do is you have to finish all of the missions that we are distributing via bonus codes, correct?
Yes. If you finish all 4 missions, then you will get the cat flag.
I will just like this. Put it back. This is the code.
Yes, you can see chat window apocalypse. Like I know that somewhere. Look, there's a ship here.
Somewhere.
Sorry, he requested triple turpets. And it would be rude of us.
No.
No.
I will. So I will. I will do the typical blame shift.
No, but it was his.
Chat.
Chat. Do you want to see triple turpets?
So give me an X for yes, we definitely want that, or give me just a no. Just a no if you don't want that. Just a no. X for yes, otherwise a no. Oh God, chat. I believed in you. I don't want to hear any complaints later on, about triple battleship divisions. You all wanted it. Are we doing triple black turpets?
Let me see if I have modules on mine. No, we're not doing it.
Okay.
Well, we can do a
half.
We can do a halfway.
Really, chat. Like all of these X's, you make me sad. That's probably the reason why I see so many triple battleship divisions. You guys love it. Okay, so we go tier 8, we go battleship, and apparently
This is a terrible captain. Where's Hans? This is by the way Hans Zimmer is my turpets captain.
That should make for a good soundtrack when you're playing.
But even he doesn't. I'm not going to go full secondary spec. I'm not going to.
I mean, it looks amazing.
It looks amazing. No, but what I was going to say, I'm not going to take a turpets black, which you can do if you want to, because it's just a turpets. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to show people what the black camouflage looks like that you can get for participating in our Salvo Sound Battle of Salvo Sound event, Battle of Salvo Island event that happened in Salvo Sound. Sorry. And the reason I thought Night Stalker was a good idea is because Shadow Lurker, because, like this, snuck up at night. It's a weak excuse. Anyway, here we go. It's black, but it's not as black as the black. Like this black. This black, that black.
This is the
it's a beautiful ship. It is really very, very black. Except for the parts where it isn't black.
But I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Okay, cool. Let's just jump into battle, right? Yes. Chat, this is on you. You know it. You should feel slightly ashamed at least. It's like, okay, yes, that was my fault. Every single one of you who pressed X, that's on you. I hope I have premium consumables. I didn't even check. Well, I played it during. I think I played it. I didn't play the turpets black too much compared to the regular turpets. I actually thought about building it a different way because my regular Tirpitz is a full secondary build. But I thought about maybe having the Tirpitz black because it's my second Tirpitz to run a completely different build, but then I think I still went for secondaries.
Yep. Dirk Eiweg is asking, gibt es den Live-Chat auch in Deutsch? Dirk, leider nicht. Da musst du beim deutschen Stream vorbeischauen. Der war allerdings vorgestern.
Was hat er gefragt?
Ob es den Chat auch in Deutsch gibt.
Den Chat, den liefern wir normalerweise mindestens einmal im Monat auf Deutsch. Wenn nicht sogar zweimal.
Er meint den Chat. Es gibt keinen separaten Chat in einer anderen Sprache. Aber Chat, ihr sprecht doch sowieso alle Deutsch, oder? Wir können jetzt einfach auf Deutsch weitermachen.
Genau, willkommen zum deutschen Stream. Wir freuen uns sehr, dass ihr heute
wer spricht Deutsch? Macht mal ein D im Chat, bitte.
Ja. Dieser Chat ist nun Deutsch. So, jetzt muss ich auch auf Deutsch weiterreden, oder?
Ja, es tut mir leid, Chat, aber die Deutschen haben auf jeden Fall die Überhand. Guckt euch mal die ganzen Ds an.
Es gibt auch einen, der sagt DCH. Um sicherzustellen, dass wir wissen, es ist Schweizerdeutsch.
Aber leider können wir in Schweizer. Du könntest ja einen bayerischen Stream machen.
Nee, das wäre fränkisch.
Fränkischen Stream.
Aber das wäre geschmackig. So.
Kannst du mir noch mal sagen, in welchem Bundesland denn Franken liegt?
Du meinst, Mittelfranken liegt in Mittelfranken. Und wir sind Teil von Deutschland.
Mhm.
Bundesländer sind irrelevant.
Okay,
so the guys, I'm sorry, we just enough Klingon. We are both German, so you will have to sometimes deal with some German expressions that we might use, but we'll always try to keep it in English. Nein.
Exactly. Ich bin ein Berliner. I'm glad that chat is flexing their German muscles.
Frängeln mögen wir hier nicht. Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't mind having like one Franconian stream, but I think the audience would be quite small to actually understand it. And I don't have a very strong dialect when it comes to Franconian. Regensburg? No, I'm actually from Nuremberg, the secret capital of Bavaria.
Do you speak any Dutch? We do. Well, I don't speak any Dutch. I mean, I can understand like a couple of words because there are lots of similarities to like other languages I speak, but I don't actually speak any Dutch.
I think we picked the wrong side. There's not much action here.
Should we turn around?
No, we'll just go through A.
But let's go through A from the inside.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go through A and then take out whatever's there.
Okay, Sea Flood Steel, hard to port, please. No, we don't. I don't think we speak any Dutch, but we will possibly be in your vicinity soon. More on that on the portal.
Oh yes.
Soon, TM. Yes.
I'm very looking forward to that.
Ragnarsson, I just saw. Yeah, I see your messages about the Saipan. I know things aren't like right now. The CVs are struggling a little, which we know. Which is why we are testing some new changes on the sort of test server right now. The intention of those changes is to, restore some more balance and make CVs a little stronger. So give us a little bit of time to figure out exactly how that's going to look, but we want to improve the situation.
Oh God, Instant Soup is asking, can you do an Erkan and Stefan style? So I think that many people remember the time when Erkan and Stefan were a thing in Germany.
I do, but I remember it with horror.
I watched the movie.
You did?
I have to admit, yes.
Wow.
With a Dönerspieß and a Dönertier. It was interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I completely forgot that they existed, to be honest. But they did. So, Mr. Conway, you got this, right? The question is, am I going to brawl with that Jombat? So the torpedoes are out here on the Lightning, and the Lightning is able to dance like a young god.
Look, it's Justy Taylor on the enemy team, driving an Asashio Black. I wonder why. Do you think he's trying to torpedo some battleships?
He would never do that.
He would never.
He would never do this. We know this, right? We're friends. You would torpedoes are off limits here in this match.
Especially during a triple battleship.
I'm going to.
You know what? Just the thing is, right? Your torpedoes were well intentioned, but they were entirely too transparent, and I dodged all of them.
So, Mr. Conway, since I think you have a bit more action here, I'll just showcase your match.
Well, you know when I said, "Hey, let's just go through the middle."
I know.
And you then went exactly the opposite direction.
No, not exactly the opposite, but there's a Jean Bart here that I can torpedo.
So they really.
And I'm sorry, if there's one thing you need to do in a turret, it's to torpedo things.
Okay, I'm gonna try and see. Maybe I can go torpedo the Asashio. Who knows?
So let's see. So you want to go that way, so I'm going to push you to go the other way.
Can we shoot that Cleveland?
Iron
Jesus!
Once this guys. Yes,
not
I can.
Bad.
No, we didn't even see the torpedoing of an enemy battleship. Let's see, the most
mega potato.
Yes. Sorry, chat.
There's smoke up ahead, and honestly, that's not a good sign. That's probably angry smoke, which means more predictable
Maybe the
torpedoes.
enemy's just signaling you that come here, we have cookies.
Yes, cylindrical cookies.
There
comes the Ognovoy.
I may have ran around. Oh, you ran aground. Yes, I think your positioning is not stellar, Cloud, but that's okay.
Look at this.
Nice.
Then we dodged all the torpedoes, and now the Ognovoy is coming, and it's like, oh shit, it's a Tirpitz, and it's at 2 kilometers from me.
Yes, probably not the position you want to be in, because these secondaries, they do hurt.
I mean, I am going to take some torpedoes from him. It's pretty much inevitable. But also inevitable.
Do you have your secondary set on him?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't have manual secondaries anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? The problem is with super short-range torpedoes in your Ognovoy, Mr. Ognovoy, you need to know how to launch them properly. Because like this, I have just dodged all of them. No, I didn't choose the manual secondaries because I wanted the spread, of course, on multiple targets.
How is that Ognovoy still alive?
I maybe should have taken the manual secondaries, I don't know. But gloriously, we have defeated the torpedo Scourge, and now...
Yes, the torpedo Scourge is actually getting torpedoed. Nice.
Prime position to go torpedo at Des Moines.
I have to admit that Schmidty, you will get a +1 for me.
Donskoy doesn't have torps, right?
He torpedoed the enemy, Asashio.
Donskoy doesn't have torps, right?
Donskoy does have torps, yes.
Oh, it does have torps.
8 kilometer torps, if I'm not mistaken.
That's not exactly the answer I was hoping for.
Well, you can just pretend that he doesn't have any torpedoes.
That's true.
Problem solved.
I'll do that.
The problem doesn't exist.
Oh, I did that. I did it already. It's solved. I've successfully... Oh no, why is it Yamato? Like, I'm honestly more scared of Yamato than I'm of bloody Scourge. Yes, I have successfully pretended that Donskoy doesn't have torpedoes by cleverly using the WASDA hack.
Oh no.
But I don't think I'm actually going to get to torpedo anything. I am, in fact, pretty sure I'm going to die. Pretty much.
It's a lot of things shooting you, yes.
Pretty much right now, but can we get...
Can you get torpedoes off?
I got torpedoes off. Can we... Come on, don't shoot it! Don't shoot
I'm being super nice. I'm not shooting it just for you.
Torpedo the Des Moines!
Nicely done.
And you say triple battleships doesn't work.
Like in most situations, like I just hate triple battleships as a design.
You know, if we'd actually been all three of us, this could
but
have
you
been
moved to the
so glorious.
So
yes, I moved to where we agreed to move.
No, you misunderstood. Like we thought we go through A, but you were going to the right and we were going to the left because we thought you would go around. So that's a little bit our miscommunication.
But I have to say, I managed to rack up 1.8 million potential damage because of dodging all those torpedoes.
Nice.
Only 35k actual damage, but that's fine.
Actually, let's check. Where is the Donskoy going? That's a great thing to use the spotting plane for. We can check where the enemy is trying to ambush us. But the good thing is we do have torpedoes as well, so you don't have to pay for that ambush.
Guys in chat, would you like to see more black ships in future? And don't tell me about the black. We all know you want a black. I want a black. You want
That
a
was
black.
our first comment when we heard about black
Yes.
ships.
Can we have a black?
Yeah.
Pink.
Oh no, the Donskoy is not pushing, so maybe Yamato.
Yes, as a skin. Okay.
So Pharaonas.
Ragnarsson, about informing, like, we really did our absolute best to tell everybody exactly when they could hand back and refund their aircraft carriers. There was it was possible for months.
Yes. He's not going to do this.
You know, the secondaries only work if you get close to the enemy.
Yeah, but I didn't want to go in here, even though I probably could have with the amount of the amount of points that we have. Actually, secondaries work the best on a medium range, because otherwise you will just mostly hit the belt.
That's true, at least with manual secondaries, yeah.
But now he's unspotted. I don't know, like if we don't want to run into the Donskoy's torpedoes, so that's why we're not really pushing here. But now everything is unspotted. I'll just push that heal button. And then I'll try to move through here, because then I don't have to deal with those torps. I don't know, like, I'm sorry, chat, sometimes I'm just try-harding too much. It's like, I know I don't want to just, like, die needlessly.
Ragnarsson, look, like, I appreciate that you have an opinion on this, right? But please, like nobody needs to have spam in chat. Okay? So
yes, and I'm sorry,
please.
I know we sent emails, we sent newsletters, we had notifications in-game, we had streams, publications, videos. Like, we did... from my side, I don't know what else we could have done except for probably ringing at your house. So, I mean, we're always open to how we can improve communications, and we're very open to that wherever we can. But there's a limit to what we can.
You know how you avoid torpedoes?
By using a
By
Q-first
just having a really big torpedo belt.
Yes. I think the Q-first is probably the biggest and best torpedo belt you can get.
Yes, look at this, and it is.
See,
Oh no, it's not 100%
it's
effective.
Not 100%.
Oh, no.
that was beautifully done by the Donskoy. See, this is the reason why I didn't want to do that, and I might actually run a bit.
If 11C Flood had just actually kept going at full speed with the Corvus, the torpedo belt would have worked flawlessly.
Yes. I mean, it was a nice plan until it met reality.
Mr. Conway, ask Chrysantos, do you speak Latvian? I would be really surprised if...
I would, you know, just for the fun of it, I would love to just have like 3 or 4 Latvian words here.
And we have another successful torping of the Hindenburg. Have we all got a torpedo kill now?
Yes,
It's
yes, we did.
How it should be in the turtlets.
Okay, so that was fun, and we actually won, and it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. So,
how do you download and install test server? Tigerbread,
okay, that's super
excellent question
we
that
can
we can
actually...
easily clear up for you, right?
So I can actually, I will showcase this here. So guys,
but
it's it's super easy.
No, yes,
if you have,
but you still need the account.
Yes, so you have to create an account, but how to download, how to install it is super easy. Basically, all you have to do here is, you can see you have these game instances, right? And I have the game running right now. But all you have to do is you click on game settings, and there's a button called add additional instance. And then you click on that, and you can select whether you want to play on the NA server, on a public test server. If you're a super tester, you can add super test and so on. And you can just install it, will automatically just install it like any other instance of World of Warships.
Yes, and for how exactly you get an account, right? If you head to our portal, there is an article that we've just put up, basically, a public test of update 0.8.7 round 2, and you can find all the details on what we're testing. And at the bottom of every single public test article, there's a question, like a little bit about how to access public test. So you install it via the game center, and then you just go to register, right? And it'll take you here, and you just choose an in-game name, in-game password. Make sure that the email address you choose is the same one you use on your live account, because that's where we're going to be sending rewards to for playing a public test. And that's it. And then you just use that. I would recommend to just use the same credentials you do for your live server. Makes it easy. and then you can play a public test. It's that easy.
Yes, and I saw a question here from Xantrax Live about Mr. Conway or Mr. Chrysantos. What is better, Alabama or Massachusetts for you? Do you want to know? Because you already have the Massachusetts and you're really happy to have the ship. You wanted to know whether the Alabama is cool as well, like the Massachusetts. So the Alabama is more of a traditional battleship, and you will see that the main battery is more accurate. But you don't get the secondaries. So if you want to have from a playstyle point of view, you can play them roughly the same way, but you won't have the secondaries. But you will have a better accuracy with the main turrets. So depending on that kind of differentiation, you could get the Alabama. But if you don't have a lot of other tier 8 premium ships, and especially battleships, I would probably, just depending on what you really want to get, I would probably go for something that is, intriguing or something different, just to have like some kind of variety in your gameplay. But if you love that kind of gameplay, just go for it. The Alabama will not disappoint you.
I found the perfect division mate for you.
Den Frankenkrieger. Okay, so this is our last match on this server, because then we have to move over to the PT.
Yes, we will actually go play.
And we're playing tier 10. Okay, so chat, be quick. Let me know what you want me to play on tier 10.
Has the second code been revealed yet? Asks Arrayed. There's only one code today. Last week was exceptional because we hit 50,000 followers on Twitch and we wanted to do something special. But we've got our code this week, and you've also got the chance to get Twitch drops since you're watching on Twitch, as long as you have your account connected. So there's plenty of stuff to get.
Yep. So I see Hindenburg, Yoshino. I actually have the Yoshino setup. I can play the Yoshino. Oh, we have a pretty long range setup. Okay, well, anyway, I will just use it. Well, now
you know, there's this button at the top that you can push to ready up.
Ah, true. No,
it's the one that says ready.
No,
you can't.
No, because I have to do it in the division window, Mr. Conway.
And
now you made me. Now you made me. Now I have to wait a second.
Guys, we know our interface is.
So see, there's the division window already here.
You can even scroll, by the way, with using your mouse wheel.
That's fine. I rather close windows because I have to close them at some point anyway. So ready up, we can go. Easy.
Let's do this.
Insensible plenty. Are you sure? What did we answer plenty to?
Rewards.
For what?
Watching the stream.
So okay. So guys, first of all, the rewards that we give you, you get additional missions where you can just play and you get some additional rewards. We also have Twitch drops, which basically gives you only for watching. Gives you additional Twitch containers, which contain 100k credits, consumables, and signal flags, which is always helpful because you can always use them. And then on top of that, you also get Twitch missions, which we build the missions and we try to give you, for example, access to rare camouflages, like, for example, the Twitch camouflage or the stream team. Is it stream team?
Stream Dream
camouflage, for example, or battle hardened and so on. So we try to give you some additional cool things that you can't get access to otherwise, to give you some additional cool stuff. And we have even epic drops. Obviously, the chance for that has to be quite low. Otherwise, it would be just like a huge giveaway. I know everybody would love it, but it would kill the game. So I'm sorry, we can't do that. But there's a chance to get this as well.
Yeah. And there's a question there from someone who said he can't play public test. Please help because it doesn't work via the game center. I would really suggest that you send a ticket to our customer support team, and they should be able to assist you getting that working.
Yep.
Because I'm not a tech expert, so I can't really help you. There was also a question if we're going to be playing any of the upcoming ships like Siegfried. We didn't today. We always, we vary a bit what we do on stream. Sometimes we focus on new test ships, sometimes we focus on public test, sometimes we focus on what's in the update. And like today, we're going to do a bit of public test, and we're going to do a bit of just playing. So if you want to see any specific ships, the best time to request those at the beginning of the stream when we still have time. But I think for now it's a little bit late. We'll go to the public test after this.
Yes. And in general, guys, let us know what other things you would like to see in streams. We're very open to your suggestions, so let us know. We try to have a variety of some fun streams, some background streams. For example, we did history streams, or last week we had a balance stream. We trying to have announcements that we have, for example, DevBlog, and we provide some additional context about what we're working on. These kind of things. So just let us know.
Helmer DD says, maybe you can drop more codes. Wargaming is such a rich company. A few more bonus codes won't kill the game in the company. It's not about, of course it won't kill the game. Of course we can give you all like more bonus codes. But for us, we want to find a good sort of middle ground of we give you something that's a nice reward and incentive to come to watch our stream and to hang out with us. And also to like not make it the sole purpose of, you know, like we're having 15,000 people sitting in chat just to get something for free. I know you kind of think like, oh, I want more, but from my perspective, I know how much sort of free content overall we're giving to players, also giving to, you know, like compared to like previous years. And with the amount of missions and activities and events and campaigns and daily login rewards and all that kind of stuff that we have going on, there's a huge amount of content that's available for free only, and we don't want to add too much to it. I hope you can understand. Like I really want our Twitch rewards to be fun. I want the missions to be, you know, interesting and diverse. We had missions to like get a really high amount of base XP. Then we have a mission that we're dropping today to go play some ranked and win some games in ranked. So there's a good mix of missions, and we, like Chrysanta said, we try to seed the missions with different rewards as well, so you can get some of the camouflages you can't usually get, because I know a lot of you like to, you know, like hoard a nice collection of camouflages. So do I. And so we try and vary it. If you have suggestions, we're always happy to hear them, but a suggestion of just give more is not really gonna be very helpful. I hope that makes sense. I'm waffling. It's a dangerous time when I start waffling. Where am I? Why am I in this position?
Nobody knows. No, I'm making a terrible move here. Do I actually have? I have the weird torpedoes, but I'm going to make use of them.
Maybe RNGs could bless me with a little more accuracy than it is doing right now. I am, after all, in a very accurate ship, in theory.
Oh, there's a Kutuzov moving out of the smoke.
Yes, I am traversing my guns to touch him inappropriately.
Trying to put some pressure on the Montana.
Oh, Conqueror, are you gonna... Is that enough broadside to Sentinel new Conqueror?
Try. The new Conqueror broadside is actually quite squishy. Only one way to find out.
Not if you hit his torpedo belt. Are you pushing up behind? Oh, that's the...
I'm just... It's the Yoshino, so I'm just...
Yeah, no problem. I was confused momentarily. Brawling Conqueror. Interesting. With a Brawling Republic. This is a weird combination of ships. I think Conqueror might just be turning into a whole bunch of torpedoes, though.
Which are mine.
And also, in addition, he's turning into my broadside. So I think it's
so it would be nice of him to
try.
just push that repair button so that my torpedoes can deal a bit more damage here.
One Citadel. I love that.
So guys, these are my torpedoes here. He looks
dead.
quite dead.
He's
so I'm using. So you have two options on this ship. You have basically the long range torpedoes, like the long range shimmer torpedoes and the 12-kilometer torpedoes. In general, I usually prefer the 12-kilometer torpedoes, but because this is such a meanie ship sometimes, and it loves to play on long range, I sometimes just like to pick this configuration. And as you can see, if you have a rather stale battle, this can actually come in quite handy, and you can troll people. There's a Stalingrad.
Is he actually pushing? Oh, he's
turning away. He's trying, like he knows you're there, and he's trying to get out of the position before it gets too hot for him.
Can you give me a speed check on that Hindenburg? He's really slow,
he is right? Maybe traveling at quarter speed, and he's accelerating.
Okay.
How are you doing? I probably need to push up.
I gave him one Citadel. I don't know. It depends. I can heal up a lot of stuff, but the heal cooldown. Why is there repair party 1 on this ship?
I'm sorry. That was just. I don't know. This never happened before.
Why can't we? Like, I'm sorry, but
I can see tomorrow there's an email from Mr. Conway. Hey guys, I have a suggestion. Can I just have a button for like automatically mounting food consumables
honestly,
all the time?
this is not a suggestion this is a suggestion we've had, and I have already made. Yes.
Yes. I wonder why. Is this something that happens more often? To
Honestly,
you, Mr. Conway?
I'd be.
I mean,
a lot
how
more if
is
I'd
this?
shut up. I would actually be pretty healthy right now, or at least I would be surviving if I'd had a premium repair party. God damn it!
This is just pure gold. Mr. Not again. Exactly. Now I'm in a really shitty position here.
Ragnarsson, I'm really sorry, right, dude, but I like literally gave you your warning, and that's it. You get one, and that's all you get.
So I'm a bit of a pickle here, and I can probably disengage. Hopefully I can. I hope the DD won't spot me.
God damn it! Chat, remind me to remount. I just don't understand how only the repair party is non-premium. How does that happen?
I like honestly,
Republic
you
is
need
not a ship,
to have a special kind of skill set to be able to, to forget about this specific one.
I have a particular set of skills.
No, I'm spot. Oh God, thank God I'm not spotted anymore. Because if I'm spotted right now, I'm absolute toast. This ship's broadside is weaker than, I don't know, like wet paper.
I mean, the thing is, right? The ship is basically the size of a Yamato, just with none of the armor.
Yes. This ship was not built for brawling. Okay, so leave me alone, please. Thank you. Also, can we get a fire here, please?
There's a lot of incoming fire there, by the way.
Yep. I hope they're not watching the stream, because the stream is probably the best information for these torpedoes. They take like maybe a year to actually arrive.
Naval Warlord says, for real, Conway, you need to put premium consumables on all your ships to have auto resupply button on. So if you like, right, if you come into Gamescom or something, I'll sit you down in front of my account and you can go through all of my 233 ships and put premium consumables and auto resupply on all of them. Please do. Because I'm not going to.
No, he's not going to. Oh, these torpedoes are unfortunately going to miss. Almost. Almost got him there. So I need to get the front turrets on target, but as you can see, like for the Yoshino, these turn like, I don't know, it takes ages for them to
Finally,
turn.
we have a good suggestion from S. Hayden, who says someone should make a texture mod for Mr. Conway with a message written all over the ships saying mount premium consumable.
So we have a question here from who was it? Strix9SK. How can I finish the mission for 2,700 base XP? So I'm going to be a bit trolly here, but the answer is quite simple. Is all you have to do is earn 2,750 base XP in whatever game mode you like. There might be game modes where it's easier, like in PvP, and game modes where it's literally, I mean, it's not impossible.
No,
but
it's impossible.
If you get it in PvE,
impossible.
I will give you a super special prize. I promise. But you won't be able to get it there. So no, it's basically it's a challenge for really top-notch super unicorn players. Because we know
you might, if the Stalingrad overturns.
If the Montana is so close.
No, Stalingrad's not overturning.
These torpedoes are very slow. The problem is I cannot really push in with. I mean, I might have to. It's like the game doesn't really look like it's going to get better. So I need to be a bit
man up.
pushing. Yeah. I mean, this is not the ship to like go in and brawl. This is not a Stalingrad where I can just bow in and say like, you know what, you can try, but have fun penetrating me.
Would Mr. Conway's ship be would modding Mr. Conway's ships be a reward? I think it's a punishment. By the way, any news about the new IGN Tier 7 Premium DD? I don't want to call it by name because now I know what happens to the chat then.
Oh, what?
The new IGN Premium ship. We don't want to unleash the apocalypse.
We don't?
It's too late. It's too late. It's happened. It's happened. The apocalypse has been unleashed. What's happening to it? It is like with all premium ships. It's not early or late. It arrives exactly when it is meant to arrive. And unfortunately, it arrives at a time of our choosing that we cannot disclose to you until it is upon us. So you'll have to, unfortunately, just wait and patiently.
So, chat, I didn't see that word that we were talking about. So can you maybe give me a poi?
I can see poise.
Maybe just one.
No second code. The stream is for third code. Yes, the code is the code for the third mission, but it's only one code in this game.
Because it's week number 3. So
Greybeard, by the way, Greybeard says 2,750 game is bullshit. Now, Chrysanthos, have you managed to do it yet? Will you?
No, not yet. This is because I said, this is not a starting
Torpedoes?
gun.
Do you have them? Right side?
I have them, but they are not going to be very useful.
No.
I got this.
I think you also did.
Well, I mean, we got 120k damage, but this ship is not built to brawl with the Stalingrad. I mean, I did it because otherwise, I needed to make some kind of move, because otherwise you can see, our team is dying like flies. So, needed to make some kind of move, and maybe if one of these guys is derping, I could go for it. I still believe in my torpedoes here. Come on, Montana. No, they passed him already. They passed him already. But yeah, Yoshino is a fun ship in my opinion if you like that kind of long-range engagement. If you want to go for close-range battles, there are much better cruisers out there in my opinion. But for that long range, and then once the battlefield clears up a bit, right, and you can actually go one-on-one, then you can have also that kind of aspect with that ship, but not in the beginning.
A Naval Warlord is actually offering to fix my consumables on all ships, but Naval Warlord, as much as I would love it,
he would gracefully and thankfully and just because he wants to be helpful, take care of your account where all of the test ships are located on to just fix that, and he might take them for a spin just to make sure that everything is mounted.
Not to mention all of the other accesses that having access to my account gives. So no, I'm sorry. I would like to, and we do frown.
It's a nice offer.
We do frown upon account sharing, but unfortunately, as an employee, account sharing is literally just not.
Yes,
it is completely forbidden.
Yeah, Tiger.
What did you do?
What?
You unleashed the torpedoes. By the way, we haven't brought them out yet.
We haven't brought out the torpedoes. That's true. Chat, do you want to see our torpedoes? Yes, I see. Yes. Hello, my name is Chrysanthos, and I do like torpedoes. So yes, okay, kinky maybe. So no, we have, of course. If you haven't watched the clip yet, the video, can you link the Torp Twins?
Link the Torp Twins.
I mean, it's a YouTube video. I'm sure you can find it.
But it's unlisted. Yes.
Okay, so that means you cannot drop the link to it, right?
No, I can drop the link to it.
I know. I'm just trolling. So look, this is Torp Neelys. Can you hold Torp Neelys for a second, or can I put him somewhere? Just move it a bit. I need to push it in. There we go.
He needs to push it in, chat.
So, and here we got Torpedoes, and Torpedoes is beautiful. Camera angle. No, he's actually.
Eventually I'm going to need my sunglasses back. The sun might actually come back.
No, summer's over. So these are the two guys. And by the way, so this beauty here, he's sometimes if he wants to go party.
By the way,
this, right?
When we're doing these shenanigans, can we at least
use the time to switch servers? Sorry. So look, sorry, torpedoes. It might look like a violation. So look, we have these torpedoes, right? And yes, we're still trying to find a way to sell them. But if you come to Gamescom, there's a chance you might actually catch one of these when we shoot them into the crowd.
With our special custom-designed plushy torpedo launcher, which actually is a thing. If you go to YouTube and search for plushy torpedo, it's the #1 video, and it is a video of our launcher being built and being shot.
Yes.
Now, where do I find this video? Is it in... I'll find you the video, guys. I think I'll find you the video.
So you're fine again. So Torpedoes, thank you for joining us on the show. Until next time. Torp Neelys is simply too long.
Can you talk a bit about Bayard, which is currently for sale, in terms of our special penetration? The stats look really high at the moment, asks Niravan. And Graph D says it looks like a... Yes, it does. It's like... It makes me immediately think of... my favorite thing is the start of the Austin Powers movie.
Yes.
It's the most amount of dick jokes I've seen in a shortest amount of time ever anywhere.
Yes. So, for those who are still asking about second code, no, there is no second code. There's only one code, and that one is I love the stream. Chat, I'm sure you can actually put that in there.
Oh no, it is actually a public video. I remembered we unhid it. Anyway, there's the video for those of you who are curious.
Cool. You sharing it to YouTube as well? Perfect. Exactly. Thank you, chat. Chat, you're so helpful.
It's a real thing. Yes, the plushie torpedo launcher is a real thing. If you Google it, it is a real thing. We there's a guy in Germany, of course, in Germany, and he runs a channel called the Slingshot Channel. And funnily enough, he specializes in building slingshots. So when we thought like. When I think it was Evan who originally made a joke to our leadership and said we will build a plushie torpedo launcher for Gamescom, and it was actually added to our like what we want to achieve list of goals for Gamescom this year. And I thought like, how are we going to do this? And I just thought like, there must be someone who just builds this on YouTube. And yes, there is, and he did it, and he's gonna actually even join us at Gamescom and shoot said torpedoes from our stage. It's gonna be glorious.
Yes, indeed.
Glorious, glorious, glorious.
Can we get a daring triple division game? Guillaume, maybe next time. Now we're moving over to the PT. Even though I do have the daring over there.
So, why don't we bring up our article for the PT, because we were looking at it just a minute ago. And actually have a quick look at what's in the PT.
So what you will see. So you have to open two publications for this, because we have one publication that is dedicated public test and the technical information for it, and for example the changes that we applied for session number 2, and you will find all of the information about what you can find on the PT and what's basically happening in the next update in the beautiful developer bulletin 8.7. And if you prefer the video version of this, just today we launched the developer diaries for 8.7, where some like our team is actually explaining to you what we're doing and why we're doing it and what's coming in the next update.
Yeah, but I'll give you the cliff notes now. First one is the French arc, the second stage, of course, where we have directives and things, and we it's the usual. You can earn items. There will be a special captain, Philippe Auboyneau, I think is the correct way of pronouncing him. He's got some really cool skills. That he works similar to Kuznetsov, which I think is really nice, because the chance of activating the skills is a lot higher, even though they are individually maybe not as strong as some of our traditional legendary commanders like Hoshi or Yamamoto. And then we have a ranked sprint season that's happening. Just go test it as usual. We've got some improvements to the battle UI and chat, so you can now hide commands and text messages from a player. So if you encounter one of those manic command spammers, you can just block it, which is fantastic. We have you can limit the amount of pings somebody can send to you as well, which is nice. We've got some game mechanic improvements, so some changes to how AA works. One of them is particularly interesting, which is how the what's it called? You
mean the AA priority sector?
The AA priority sector. Thank you.
Let's call it AAPS. I had to write this word for feedback so often that at some point I just put it in brackets and said it's AAPS.
From now on, guys, it's the AAPS. So the way the AAPS used to work is you push the button and then you click on the side. It takes a few seconds to shift, and then that side does more damage. Now we've changed it completely. When you click the button, it now just depends on which direction of the camera direction you're looking. Push the button, it immediately applies a burst of damage to the enemy planes. Which is quite cool, because this burst of damage also works for ships with low AA values, and you can put a special skill in it that disables all the other benefits of the AAPS, but increases the burst damage. So you can have ships with low AA that can snipe some planes off. And then you can see here, you push the button, it does a burst damage, then the damage increases over the duration of 5 seconds. You've got increased damage for another 5 seconds, then it drops back down to normal, and you have a 10-second cooldown, and then you can do it again. So it gives a lot more interaction to the AA system, and it means you're actually rewarded for paying attention when the planes get into your AA range and specifically shooting in their direction.
Yes, and at least from like we played it last week on the PT and over the weekend ourselves, and I think it's a much more interactive way of just like you see the planes and you can also time when you're going to activate that priority sector to get the most out of it. And we did have, so just for, I'm just going to interject this right here because we're talking about the AAPS. So last weekend on the public test server, there was a bug with the amount of damage that was dealt when pressing the button because it was basically calculated twice. So we changed that and it's fixed. So now please go and test it in the second iteration from both the CV side and from the surface ship, like how big the damage dealt is.
Yeah, we're going to test that. The other changes that, and this is a change that, like may or may not go into the 0.8.7 live version. We're not sure yet. Depends on the testing. Is that we've changed the way the AA zones work, right? So previously, where you had very distinct zones and there was no overlap, there's now a bit of overlap. But we've also made 1 or 2 changes. So you can see the explosions that the dodgeable AA cloud explosions now can only happen in the outer zone. So in the outer zone, there's no consistent DPS dealt by AA anymore. Then there's a small overlap where you can have explosions and DPS, but as soon as you're past that point, you only have to deal with DPS, which is good because when you're making an attack run onto a plane, you really want to be paying attention to getting your aim right and stabilizing your attack and making sure you're landing your attack in the right position. You don't want to be dodging the clouds anymore. So if you're attacking single ships, that's going to make it more comfortable for a carrier to attack, and you've only got to deal with the consistent DPS. Anyway, there's a lot of details on there. We also changed on like the graphics of it a bit, and we also changed on how the sort of how they spawn, where they spawn, how they're distributed. So really, the best way is to just go try it out. There's also a cool change to the autopilot. And this already worked really well in the first iteration of PTS.
Actually, so the visualization of it worked really well, but there were some issues with the waypoint finding. But we actually fixed a few bugs for that as well for session number 2. So if you had some issues on the first one, please go try out whether this is fixed now for you. And also should show you that we read your feedback and we try to implement as much of that as we can within that short time frame. And you can find all of basically the whole changelog is in the other publication in the public test of update 8.7.
Yep. Yes, I think somebody says, I think a better way would be you showing us CV, since we'll see how you use it in counter. Absolutely. I'm going to play CV.
Exactly.
And he's going to play not CV. If you want to join us in public test, get logged in now. We're just going to drop in a random battle in a minute or 2, and then you'll be able to see the interaction from both sides. That's why we're here, after all. We also have some cool changes to the matchmaker. It's quite simple, actually. We're just basically going to log your last 20 battles. And once we have that record of the 20 battles, we're going to make sure that over the last 20 battles, only 40% of the battles are fought with ships 2 tiers higher. So if you play a tier 8 ship, and then you get 6 games against tier 10, you're going to be guaranteed to have games without tier 10. So it's going to hopefully make it less frustrating for everyone, and there should be no more occurrences of you just have to always fight higher tiers.
Yes. Just a related question to this from Ethaviel. When will this go live? This is in testing for 8.7, and unless something is breaking about it, and we don't really see that right now, it should go live in 8.7. And then hopefully, because it takes some time to basically do the first calibration, so we won't really see it initially until you basically rack up the first 20, 30, 40 battles. And the system is going to remember it. You don't have to do it like in a series. It basically will remember it no matter when your playing session was. So it should... probably towards the end of update 8.7, you will probably see the proper effect on this on your ships, how much you get up tiered and down tiered.
Exactly. Let me just answer 2 quick questions. One is a comment actually from Lagrog, who says thank you for the Twitch mission, but he doesn't have a tier 9. The reason it's restricted to tier 9 is because it's for ranked battles, and ranked battles right now are on tier 9. So if you don't have a tier 9 yet, go get one. It's a great tier to play at, and ranked battles are always fun. The other comment was from Agent Hunk, who's asking, what does I Love the Stream give? He cannot find any notifications. It's because it gives you a personal mission. So if you click on personal assignments, you'll find a mission called Fighting With Us Week 3. And if you complete the mission, it will give you 3 French destroyers containers.
Exactly.
Anyway, we've also got the Research Bureau, of course. What used to be called the Naval Training Center is now dedicated to unlocking ships, and also things like premium account and other stuff. I would like you to go test this as well. The mechanics of it are quite simple. If you have any tier 10, any 2 tier 10 ships, you can. There's a special button which we'll show in just a second. Actually, you know what? I think for this it's just easiest if we just open the game.
Yeah.
So we go have a look at the game. I'll show you the tech tree here. In the tech tree, you can see we've also done some revamping of the tech tree. So if you look down, you've got your tier 10. Now, what you can do is you can push this button and reset this whole line. And then it's just gone. You get the whole research process is gone. You're going to sell all of the consumables. You're going to sell the ships and their modules. Everything else is going to be dismounted and moved to the inventory. And instead, you're going to be able to earn research points. So that works really simple. You reset this. Now I no longer know how to play British battleships. But what I can do is I can re-research them, play through them again. And as soon as I hit tier 6, you can see there's a little symbol here, just like a snowflake. And I'll get research points for every new ship that I unlock and win 1 battle in. And those research points you can use in the armory in a new dedicated section. If you open the armory and research bureau, and you can use it to purchase things. So on the live server, the first iteration is going to have the Colbert, for instance, which was already announced, which is a French tier 10 light cruiser. So yeah, go test those things out. Join us in public test. We're just going to, enough talking. We just have to play some, some now and show you what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to bring out the Hakurio.
And Siren, I have to say I'm a bit hurt. You say, "Hey Luke," but not Chris. That hurts me.
It's because she knows where her toast is buttered.
Okay. That's how it is. I'm hurt. No, there was a question about when will the legendary modules come out for example, Royal Navy DDs and BBs? So basically for ships that have been added with the tier 10 ship in the past year, for example, that don't have a legendary modular upgrade yet. So the thing is that, for example, with the research bureau, we were thinking about, for example, giving combat bonuses and so on. So there was a bit part of the process why we were thinking about, does it make sense to add legendary upgrades right now? The thing is that legendary upgrades are supposed to provide you with like an interesting choice that you have to make, but it has an upside and a downside. We might actually have legendary upgrades at some point in the research bureau, but right now we are simply waiting how the system is going to be adopted, and then we'll make a choice for legendary upgrades, what the future of them is. Yeah. But for now, I would say I wouldn't expect them in the very near future, but as soon as we have any infos, we'll hand them out. But I wouldn't expect any legendary upgrade for the other tier 10s at the moment.
By the way, English Militia made a good suggestion. He said the button to forget all your ship progress should be called the Conway button, which it's not.
And it will automatically demount all premium consumables.
Yes. How many lines are needed to be reset to get the Colbert? So it depends a little bit, time warp, because the way the research bureau is going to work is that we're going to have seasons. So there'll be multiple seasons per year, and each season you're basically going to get a ×2 bonus for the first line that you reset. So that's going to give you double bonus. So if you want to just grind to the Colbert as quickly as possible, I think you're going to have to do a total of 3-4 resets. I'm not entirely sure what the numbers are, and they are of course still subject to change. But if you space it out a bit more, if you go, for your season doubles, you'll obviously get more of it. So it depends a little bit how fast you want to do it. If that makes sense.
Yes.
When will we receive money on PayPal for recruiting? Give us a little bit of time. It shouldn't take too long, but we need to go and process and get all of the data and look at who recruited how many people, make sure we've removed anybody that didn't follow the rules, and then we obviously have to also wait for PayPal to actually process that, because we're not gonna. PayPal's our partner there, and we kind of need them to help us with that, because we can't really send those many individual payments, they'd probably block our account. So give it a little bit of time, but we are on it.
Yes.
Let's go have a look how this works. So you see here there's an enemy Colbert, right? And we're gonna rocket attack him, and then you'll see that his AA is very ineffectual. And
Wow.
No,
Yes.
we're
When
not-
will
we're
the
not- we're not
Ohio
gonna do
be
that.
released? So the Ohio is going to be the second ship for the Research Bureau, and depending on the balancing process. That's. I mean, it will be added at some point, but right now it's still in testing.
And for those of you who are asking for another code, we are not going to have another code today. This is today's code. It unlocks the third week's mission for this sort of month's set of stream missions, and you can go do that right now.
Yes.
Last week we had 2 bonus codes because the other one was added on top as a thank you for you guys, because we hit 50,000 followers on Twitch, which I thought was pretty awesome. So you see, we're through his close range AA now, no more bubbles, and we can actually attack him. But it's a Minotaur. Wow, that hurt him. So I'm going to F out there because maybe I can recover some planes, but it doesn't look like it. 1 and no. They're gone. But it's a Minotaur. It is what you would expect when you
With
attack
the gearing actually.
With the
pretty close
gearing,
by.
yeah. It's what you would expect when you attack the highest AA game, shipping game. But I did 11k to him, which is okay. I wasn't really expecting to go for a Minotaur there, but
So there are 4 codes, but they're basically 4 codes for the month. So each, actually, and now, Mr. Conway, you're on the wrong. So I just wanted to show. So for example, now I can decide when I want to push that O button. I'm looking in that direction. I instantly killed one of the planes, and now it's just keeping shooting down planes. And just want to get unspotted here in a second. So you can see that he's slowly losing the planes, and I'm just trying to get out of the zone here.
yeah. And yes, guys, we are aware, of course, that the special consumable for torpedo planes, which is the heal, is currently pretty much useless because of the way the damage changes has worked. So you can kind of still use it at the moment. Basically, just use it whenever you know you're going to be receiving a lot of damage, and it'll mitigate some of that. But we're watching data right now, and we're going to figure out once we've stopped the AA, once we finished the current AA change, we're going to figure out how best to change that to make it usable again and to make it more useful for you guys as well. See if we can get one more strike off here. But you know, considering I'm facing a Minotaur right now with a gearing and a Corfus as well, like the damage could be worse.
Yeah, and in general, guys, I mean, if you played the PT within the last 3 updates, you will have your account, most of it actually mirrored on the PT. So it's a great way to also just play around with some stuff and then test stuff if you want to do that. KCB is coming back again. I'm just a bit careful about that core first. So there was a question about Siegfried and Somers, for example. So Somers is going to be the next steel ship on tier 10, but I don't know when it's going to come out. And Siegfried is still in testing, so that might take a bit. It really depends on basically how quickly we can get the balancing process done, and that's something we don't want to rush. Like we take our time, and once it's ready, and then we'll let you know.
So there's a comment there from Little Dusky who says you can only be effective with the AA if you don't focus on other ships. No, you misunderstand. So the way the AA works is that you push the button just basically. Okay, let me demonstrate here. So if I'm looking. I'm going to switch my camera. So if I'm looking east right now here, right? If I push the O button. Oh, you can see at the bottom left, I've selected the priority AA sector. Now I can do whatever I want, and the priority AA sector is still going to remain strong on that side. And the initial burst of damage at another plane will have been fired. So it just goes, you push the button, it does damage, and then that side is increased. So you don't need to hold the priority sector button anymore and then decide which side you want. You just look at the enemy planes, push the button, and you can immediately focus on, like damaging enemy ships again. So it's in fact a lot easier to select. It's a lot quicker, more interactive, and you can still absolutely focus on shooting everyone else.
Yes, and it focuses. Basically, it does what it does to all squadrons that are within the range. So.
Mr. Minotaur, where are you? I have to make an educated guess. It looks to me like
it depends
you
a
are
bit on
dead.
the Audacious, whether the Audacious wants to nuke me, but if he does, then hopefully I can showcase it to you.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to show right now because we obviously have a
Switching
5v5.
to my point of view, depending on whether he wants to come over here, but no, it doesn't look like it. But I will show you how it works if he decides to come to me.
Don't bother asking about Polish line. Those Germans just will ignore that question. No, we won't. It's just that there are like 3,000 people watching and there are 2 of us, so we can't answer all questions. We have repeatedly said in the past, in many streams and many Q&As, because the question always gets asked, will we have a Polish line? And the answer's always been, we may in future indeed do a Polish line. Right now we are at a situation where we don't have... We've got other lines planned, and we are moving the Błyskawica into the pan-European the pan-European nation, because it means that right now she's going to gain a lot of usability. Her captain, if you have a Błyskawica, is going to be more useful because you can also use her on other pan-European ships, and she will still retain her national flag, just like the pan-European ships have their national flags, and she will also retain her special, like her Polish captains and the Polish voiceover. So literally we're just basically giving her a little bit of love in terms of letting you also use the captain on other ships. And in future we might very well add a Polish tech tree, but not in the immediate future.
Yes, and you also have to realize that, you know, the Polish Navy didn't really have like a lot of ships in World War I and World War II, so that's, you know, doesn't make it easier.
And we know that the ships that the Polish Navy had are important, and that's why there's already a Błyskawica in game. And we know we have a very large Polish community that we absolutely love. I, for one, would love to have a Grom in game as well. And, you know, there are other ships as well that qualify. I know the community spent a lot of time putting together potential tech trees, and we look at that stuff as well. And, you know, we have a history department full of people who do nothing else but this anyway, and you can bet your ass that we've done our research on a potential Polish line anyway. So maybe in the future, but not right now. We've got other fish to fry, and the first fish is going to be served with pesto. So, Italian chips next, guys, and then from there on we will see. We will see. Maybe we'll give you some hint at Gamescom as to what's next. We've been known to do that.
Yes, talking about Gamescom in general, like Gamescom is a really great time, you know, for announcements and cool stuff. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff,
yes, you can.
We already have set up the event for our Gamescom stream. It's on the 21st of August. It's happening. It's a very long stream because we have a lot of things to show. It's happening from 3 p.m. CEST until 8 p.m. CEST, or in UTC it's from 1300 to 1800. We have a lot of cool stuff, announcements. We're actually going to broadcast one of our stage shows where you're going to see the 2 of us having some fun, and you know, throwing a lot of goodies into the crowd and talking about cool unannounced stuff. And
yes,
also we're going to have a concert later on that we cannot talk about right now
yet.
But there's going to be a
soon,
musical
hopefully.
performance that I'm sure you're going to like. Are we going to get maybe future ships like late 1990s? So, Mark, that's not really fitting into the lore of our game and into the balancing of our game. So while I don't want to say this is never going to happen, it's quite unlikely that this will happen.
Yeah, big problem.
It just doesn't fit into, like, if you take a look at what kind of ships and what armament they're using, and then you would take a ship from the late 90s and how naval warfare has developed after World War II, that's very tricky to combine.
Yeah, it's mostly missiles past World War II, as you know, and I don't know. Maybe, but I don't think it would be that fun, because the missile, very much, unless you like guiding it yourself, and then that doesn't really work with how the missiles work. I don't know. Maybe it would be a bit of a different game.
We're under attack.
The Corvair can be such an evil ship, especially if you don't pay attention to it. I mean, you see the shells that I'm shooting at him.
Engaging enemy. Destination reached. Autopilot mode
Yes, but
disabled.
he is mine.
Taking
Orange is a
fire.
seven.
Returning to ship.
Nice. I think I'm going to finish him here. He's slowing down a bit. No, my friend, the smoke will not help you. Nor will it save you. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Any plans for a World of Spaceship? Saber, we would love to have that, but at least I'm not aware of plans for that.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Ah, I forgot. We can just set an autopilot now. That works.
Dreadnoughts, any plans for pre-dreadnoughts? So, for example, we already have one with the Mikasa, and I think the Charleston, the South Carolina is also a pre-dreadnought battleship. But I'm not an expert, but I know Mikasa is not a dreadnought battleship. I mean, we are looking into those, but I don't think we have anything coming up in the near to midterm future that would be like a pre-dreadnought era battleship. And Turk says you like playing battles below tier 5, but you have to forget this because most of the activities are at tier 5 and above. Well, usually we build activities around at least tier 4 or tier 5 and above, because we want to have that activity on that. And while you know, it's absolutely fine to play on lower tiers with your ships, we usually don't want to encourage like seal clubbing too much. With the research bureau, you will be able to actually, if you nuke a line or forget a line, you will be able to. I mean, you're kind of forced to start playing again from lower tiers, and we can take a look into the mission design, whether we can have a few more actually catering to lower tiers. But I think for Twitch drops, we're going to have something like this for next month. So now I would love for the enemy CV to actually attack us.
We're under attack.
I mean,
Yes,
I
so-
don't know, right? The problem is right now that this game is like really not very representative of what we're going to see in the live server, because it's obviously a 5v5. Because right now it's not a good prime time for like the test server to run, and then not as many people playing on it. But I've still done 117,000 damage now.
Yes. And for me, for example, even though the CV tried to drop me in the beginning, I wasn't able, even with a very strong AA ship, to like just simply. Oh, we can actually show it right now. So now I can push that button here, right? And I dealt like an instant amount of damage, but not that much to actually kill a lot of planes. And my priority sector is now up, and you can see we're slowly shooting down planes, but it's not like these planes are instantly melting. I haven't activated defensive AA, because defensive AA now works a bit differently. It's not just giving you like a straight up bonus to the damage of the DPS zones, but it's actually increasing the damage dealt by the explosions that you have, the flak explosions. So it's better to activate this when you see somebody coming in, and you can just buff the amount of damage your AA flak bursts are going to deal to the planes. If they're already through that, then that's not going to really help you that much. And we'll just get that Audacious here. And down he goes.
GG. Well, try that again. Guys, if there are a couple of you ready on the test server, I'll do a bit of a countdown. We're going to play tier 10. I'll do a bit of a countdown in chat. So maybe we can get a few more people in the game. So if you are on the test server, you hold yourself ready. I'll do a 10-second countdown in chat, and Mr. Chrysantos will push the button, right?
Yes.
10.
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The thing is, you should have probably, waited for like 20 seconds for the delay of the stream to actually.
Twitch chat has almost no delay.
Okay.
Sorry guys on YouTube, but I can't type in 2 chats at once.
Yeah.
And your
So there
delay
was
is
a
really
question
quite
about like, hey, how to actually get to what was it, Trento, Zara, and Montecuccoli. That's the way to get there is basically testing the research bureau. So you go to the tech tree, you delete one of the lines, you forget it, and then you go and get these special tokens. We can show it to you after this match how it would actually work and how to go through it. And then you earn these research points, and with the research points, then you can on the test server basically get access to these unreleased ships and test them.
Look at that, it worked.
Perfect.
That's fantastic, guys. I have to say thank you very much for this, because that obviously is going to help us get a much better like actual test game, because we've got a good amount of ships there.
Good job, guys.
Shout out, yeah, like this is like absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Rich Vale is asking, are you still planning to create second CV lines using the removed CVs like Essex and Taihu? Yes, that's still on our to-do list. But right now we're still focused on getting the balancing right before we're going to introduce like a new line. So it's still on our list, and how it's going to be done, I don't know yet. So give us a bit of time, but these ships are not forgotten.
Wargaming approved seal clubbing. Why is it seal clubbing? We're all in tier 10.
No, so in general, when it comes to, because sometimes I see this kind of sentiment of like, oh, you know, if you play low tiers, you're seal clubbing. I mean, obviously you're playing on lower tiers, while the most experienced guys are. If you're on tier 10, you have to have a certain amount of experience because you had to get there, right? And that you could only get that by playing the game. But when it comes to completely new players, they are in a protected matchmaking queue. That means they will not face an experienced player for a certain amount of time, because they are supposed to learn the game, and only after that they will face the experienced players. Even if, for example, the experienced player would play on tier 1 or tier 2, he would not face the complete newbie. If I would play my 5th game on tier 5 at tier 2, I would not see super experienced players.
Worcester, definitely an uncomfortable choice for me to attack. But Yoshino, I think, is a suitably squishy target. With not a bad AA, but
with a great name.
Probably a bot.
So, oh yeah, you're.
Oh,
that's. I mean, you see here a lot of condensed AA.
That really hurt.
A lot of concentrated AA with a lot of long range AA bubbles. So. Yeah, especially in the beginning, it's probably the not the best idea to strike right into that. But in general, guys, this is why we're testing this. So please go to the public test, both as a CV player and as a player who might play mostly surface ships. So we can have a lot of feedback about how you feel about this, and we also have a lot of data that we see how it's working.
Yeah, and as just like as always, you're always better off trying to pick off individual ships or attacking flanks that are not as strong. Like that first drop obviously went into a blob that was mostly unspotted when I dropped into it, which meant I lost a lot of planes.
By the way, did we even see it? Because I don't think you changed point of view.
Ah, we didn't? God damn it.
Yeah.
So you see here right now, I mean, the heal might not be very useful, but you can still use it to, like, I managed to do this attack wave without losing a single plane up till now. What is a little bit annoying is that the Zao managed to get his defensive plane up, which means they're going to use the ammunition and just basically shoot my squadron down. Now, if I'm lucky, I can get a second drop off, but it's more unlikely than likely right now. Oh, maybe we can, yeah, we can actually get a second drop off. That's with the defense plane. At the beginning, when we released the rework, you could actually drop your defensive fighter on top of a defensive plane, and sometimes if the timing was right, you could basically get your defensive fighter to shoot down the ship defensive planes. But we've heavily nerfed the hit points of the defensive fighters because they were used, people used them by dropping them on top of a destroyer to keep the destroyer spotted, which is not what they're intended for. So we nerfed that aspect. They still work great at shooting down planes. I dropped mine here now. They'll take a few seconds to get into theater, and then they're there, and I'm going to completely ruffle stomp that entire Hakuryou squadron. Like, even if he boosts out now, he is going to lose all of those planes now to my squadron. They're catching up, and 1, 2. Oh no, he played well, and I didn't pay attention, and what am I doing here? Come on. You should generally, when you're flying planes, maybe look in the direction you're flying. It helps you with figuring out where you're going, in my experience.
Approaching target. We're under attack. Returning
Gonna
to
get a
ship.
third strike in.
We're under
Let's take
attack.
some AP bombers. Will I get the
Maintain
Zao?
present course.
One? Oh, well, just one, but he's dead.
Autopilot mode enabled. We're under attack. Attention. Reporting the target position. Enemy. Taking fire.
I dropped that too late. If you don't know, as with the rest of World of Warships, angling is supremely important with when it comes to AP bombs. The angle of the impact of the AP bomb really makes the big difference of whether or not you want to hit a citadel. So the trick is to launch the bombs from as high an altitude as you can and still hit the target, because then they're going to come down pretty much straight and have a higher chance of getting a citadel if you aim them well. But it's tricky to do.
Airborne.
He's gonna be dead. So look what's up there.
Our team has taken the lead.
Question: when you do something with horizontal drop on Royal Navy CV, because right now we have to watch the bomb drop and cannot make any correction of the flight course. I agree that there should be some way to cancel the animation, basically, if you don't want to watch it. But the reason we have it in there is because when we first released the level bombers, people were complaining they couldn't see that whether or not the level bombs were actually hitting. So obviously that's a bit tricky, and because they have such a slow fall time and such a like a different way of dropping, you kind of need to get that feedback. But obviously, if it means that you are struggling to pilot the squadron, otherwise it's tricky. I think that drop went too far out. Yoshima's too fast. Yeah.
Engaging enemy.
Yep. I got one.
We're under attack.
Should be a good
Returning
one.
to ship. Taking fire.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Present course.
Booster versus Colbert.
We're
I'll
under
help you.
attack.
For what it's worth against the Worcester. With the Worcester, it doesn't matter so much if you drop your bombs quite late, because obviously the Worcester doesn't have a lot of armor, but it does have a lot of AA, so
No.
it's tricky to do.
Can I kill you first? No. Thank God. Thank you, Mr. Conway.
Well done,
That saved my little butt.
Well
You're welcome.
done, Commander. Well done, Commander.
Fighter airborne.
But yes, in closing, guys, play more public test. Especially when we have a change like this, it really helps us get some valuable data.
And you get to see what's coming up next in the game. I mean, that's
Yes.
like
And
the
their
best
rewards.
place. Yeah.
That rainbow of shells is absolutely ridiculous.
Hey! I
What
got
got
team
you?
killed.
You got team killed?
Yes.
Wow.
Mwah.
Rude, rude, rude.
Yes, very, very rude by Mr.
Very
Who was
rude.
it?
Was?
Was?
Wow. Such, they really aren't many
I would be
players.
careful with something like this because, you know, you have you're team killing the guys to have red buttons.
Yeah. But he's, like, honestly, that's one of the worst kind of players out there.
So I'll try to actually, Mr. Conway, you really suck at pushing the button.
I do. S. Hayden is asking, you guys haven't answered me. What about up-tiered carriers with that new priority sector system? So a big part of this rework, not with the priority sector, but with the other rework, the other change that we're doing to how the zones work, is that we have gone through AA values and plane health values from tier 4 to tier 10, and we've made the change a lot less drastic. So if this works as we intend it to work, this means that it's going to be easier to play as a tier 8 ship against a tier 10 carrier, and it's also going to be easier to play as a tier 10 carrier. It's going to be easier for lower tiered ships under this new system. Basically, the change of plane hit points and AA strength per level isn't going to be so great anymore. So yeah, so if you're a low tier ship facing a higher tier carrier, it's going to be easier for you to shoot down planes. And conversely, if you're a lower tier carrier facing a higher tier ship, it's going to be harder for him to shoot down planes. So this is something that we've really taken on board as feedback, because we don't want to change the +-2 matchmaking for carriers, because we don't think we have to. And this should just make the progression a lot smoother and mean that you're not going to feel helpless when you're up tiered. But as with all the other things, this is in testing, so please go test it and let us know what you think.
Engaging enemy.
So, Alpha Night Core, how are we supposed to do your mission? Your missions, or it takes 15,000 base XP. So I don't really know what mission you're referring to, Alpha. But for example, if you play mostly co-op, then your XP score is going to be lower. If you have like an accumulative XP mission, I would usually recommend playing maybe a bit of PvP as well, simply because you get higher rewards for the higher risk that you take, because you have to fight actual players. But in general, if you're referring to the event that we have with the Battle of Salvo Island, then the mission that we have with like win 1,000 battles, that one is about being able to track how many times you won. Not you have to complete 1,000.
If you want to complete it, you can.
I mean, you can.
You'll get one credit.
Yes. Will odd-tiered numbered carriers be added to the game? So, Alex, we already answered this. We are looking into it, but first we want to get the game balance right before we add another tree. So,
especially because we want the other tree to have different mechanics.
Exactly. So they are not forgotten, but we have to look at how we're going to do this. There's a mission with 2,750 base XP. Yes, it's a challenge. So I can see that. So Mr. Conway, so now we know basically how much we can ask of you guys, where it's going to be very tricky for you. No, but the idea behind that mission was you have 3 stages, right? 1,500 base XP, 2,000 base XP, and then there's like a challenge that most players won't be able to complete. But if you manage to do it, you will get 5 battle-hardened camos and additional French TD container. This was mostly to have like a challenge for super unicoms, because we usually don't have that hard missions. And at least for me, for example, I would consider myself at least a unicom. I like to have a challenge where I know like, so this kind of reward I really earned because I played really well. And for me personally, base XP is the best indicator of performance in-game, because it takes into account your work for strategic objectives. Damage, for example, the regular damage that you see is not a relative damage, because if you, for example, deal 100,000 damage to a battleship or 100,000 damage to, let's say, 2 cruisers, in terms of damage itself that is displayed in the game, it will be counted the same way, but not for base XP. For base XP, these guys. For base XP, that will actually be taken into account, like how much percentage of HP actually destroyed. And that is why base XP is such a good indicator for performance in-game. And on top of that, you also have planes and, work for objectives, spotting, potential damage to a certain degree. All of that is taken into account for base XP. So yeah, yes. Is it already time? Well, time is flying today. So I'm sure we're going to raid somebody. And
we are indeed. But I want to say, thank you very much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we didn't have as much free stuff as last week, and we're not always going to have it. But we appreciate that you come and join us anyway, because we really we're here for you guys, so that we can give you guys information, so that we can ask questions, so we just do talk shit and banter and have some fun, and I really enjoy that.
There's a question from John B about when he's a Steam player, whether he can also get access to the test server. Yes, but you will need to download the Wargaming Center to be able to play it, because that's not accessible through Steam, to my knowledge. But all you have to do is you go to, let's say, depending on what server you're from, just go to one of the World of Warships portals. You will be redirected to the proper one. Read the publication about how to play PT. You can register an account, and then you can use that account to play there, unrelated to Steam, but use the same email address that you use for Steam as well, so that you can get the rewards. So no, because not a CC.
No?
No.
Oh.
But who can we? Let's check. Maybe we have somebody small.
I looked, but I couldn't find anyone that speaks English.
Can you filter by English? Just.
Can you?
Yes, you can filter by language.
I did not know that. You learn new things every day.
Yes. So guys, we haven't raided Mr. Gibbons in a while, and ODCCs, my friend. So I think we are going to raid Mr. Gibbons tonight. But before we do that, guys, so I just wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out with us. I hope you had a fun stream. I hope we got to answer a lot of questions. We know we were not able to answer all of them, but there's over 3,000, I think 500 in total of you guys out on this channel and on YouTube. And while we would love to answer all of them, we simply are physically not able to do that, but we're trying our best. If you want to, come join us next week. Go play Battle of Salvo Island and see which team you want to play for. Do you want to play for the Allied team or for the Axis team? And outside of that, go set a reminder for next week's stream. We're going to drop the 4th bonus code for update 8.6, where you can get additional French DD containers. And important, if you don't want to miss out on our Gamescom activities and the announcement that we'll have, go set a reminder for the Gamescom stream, the English one, for the 21st of August. And here's the code, basically here.
Yes, for those of you who say it doesn't work, it definitely works.
Yeah.
If you've
unless you're on the Russian server, but for the Russian server, you will get the bonus code tomorrow in the Russian stream, and you can find that in our events tab on Twitch as well. So basically, just set a reminder, come back, and you will get that.
Yep.
So,
yes, that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to go raid Mr. Gibbons now. He's a fantastic British streamer, a very positive guy. Fun little community there. Say hi from the twins, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much. And
thank you. Bye-bye.